It's frozen.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
I don't know why that freezes at times. It just doesn't want to give us the live. Well, welcome along, one and all. It's match day. It's Newcastle United versus Man U, and I have the beautiful presence of Brant with me for the first hour. Before we get into the live commentary, where we will obviously we'll go through bits and pieces that we've heard in the grapevine, and we'll look at the teams and potential that could be a threat, and it could be one of those boring games. Let's see. But before we get into today's game, let's do the housework. And again, welcome to everybody that's watching across all of the platforms. Thanks to everybody working in the background. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy the show. It just helps us get further as a channel. Subscribe, it's totally free. Don't forget to hit that bell for future content. We do 7 days a week stuff, with the odd occasional day off if there's nothing out there. But if you obviously hit the bell, you'll get all the notifications as soon as we go live or we throw a recorded show out there. If you want to help us support the channel, you can become a member. It's a small monthly fee. There's totally different levels to choose from regarding of the type of content you want to watch. And obviously there's also a chance of winning a prize. Don't forget to check out our webpage, NUFCtalk.tv, for news and content. That's totally ad-free, and if it's all up to date as we get it from a relevant source, we'll throw it on there. So if you've got 5 minutes, have a look on there. If you've got a question for me or Brant in the first hour, then put a Q in front of that question. It's not always guaranteed. So if you want to guarantee it, then you can use the $sign. Throw us a super chat and we will talk about it. Anybody that becomes a member during the show or anybody that wants to gift a membership will also be thanked as we go along. So just having a quick look in the yes, and Tiger in the chat already. We've got Raj, Michael, and Tiger. Mighty Mag's in there, two nuts as well. So welcome all. There's a few others, but what I say, we'll get through to some of your chat when we get to it. So let's talk about the match then, matey. What's your feel? We've just had a quick look at the potential team. Then obviously it was confirmed. So we'll go through each individual one, but now, literally from this morning, as soon as the Sunday papers landed on the door, for those of you that still have a paper, it was confirmed that Onana was dropped and not even travelled with the team. Not surprising, if I'm honest, because the lad has been sponsored by Teflon. He's nothing stuck. It's been totally non-stick. So, not surprised to you either, Brant?
No, I mean, he's been the 2 goals he gave up in their last fixture. The league, the cup matchup were horrible, especially that second one. And he's had those issues all year and last. I mean, everybody knows. I think what I was hearing from a lot of Manure fans is, he's good with his feet. He can pass out from the back. That's how they want to play. Blah blah blah. But if you can't save, a goal,
can't use your hands. Yeah, that's what you're there for.
You're constantly giving up goals because you can't do that. I mean, honestly, I'm shocked that he's lasted this long because he's been bad all season.
Yeah, I read a report. It's something like 600 and some odd minutes since the last time somebody else apart from Onana was in goal. And like I say, when you look at the run of form and you look at the league position and everything else, it does question the mark of is it like closing the gate after the horse has run away, isn't it? Type of situation. Surely, I mean, don't get me wrong. I questioned it when I first saw him. I thought he played really well at some of the teams that he's been involved with. Inter especially, I thought he was a great player. He played from the back, like I say, and he played progressive balls to the front men. Hasn't seemed to have been able to do that in the Premier League. Now, is that the difference in the football between Serie A and the Premier League? But, he's been at Barca, he's been at Ajax. So the lad's had some competition and some minutes in different leagues. So, again, does this earmark what the Premier League is really like compared to the others?
Yeah, is it that, or is it just, you look at Manchester United and all the players that have left and then gone on to had much better
Yeah.
careers and much better stats. And just, I mean, look at Anthony. I mean, just I think for me the biggest example of this right now is what Anthony's done at Real
Well,
Betis. He's gone to
Betis, yeah.
Betis. He's been player of the match for them twice already,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy, isn't it?
he was a joke at Manchester United.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
Yeah,
know
but
it could be that too.
but you know, I also think sometimes a player is allowed to play, you know,
Yeah,
in certain circumstances. And obviously, goalkeepers are a bit different because they're specialists. They're like strikers; they are a specialist unit. But you know, goalkeepers for me is a case of the first thing you buy a goalkeeper for is to stop goals going in. Somebody
yeah,
who's good with their hands. They've got to be a decent shot stopper. Um, if you can get a goalkeeper that can also use his feet, then you've got an absolute legend. You know, it's a
yeah.
bonus because not
Hmm.
all goalkeepers can do. And like I say, you know, Anana is typical of that. They bought him for his pure ball skills, but his handling of the ball has been absolutely awful.
Yeah,
So it's going to be interesting to see the new Turkish keeper in. Well, not new, but the Turkish lad in. Like I say, we'll go through the team one by one in a second. But I suppose before we go any further, I suppose we also need to understand what's going on at St James's Park today, because obviously there's reminiscing of a manager gone by, and there's also thoughts go out there to our current manager who is unwell in hospital. So I'm hoping War Flags do an amazing tribute to Keegan. I'm sure it'll be a lovely day to be, you know, Keegan themed day within all the flags and things like that. There's going to be lots going on. But again, you know, for me, we can't forget about the lad who's unfortunately not going to be able to be there. Lots of rumours out there saying that it's potentially sepsis from his recent dental work that he's had done. But like I say, if that is the case, it's a horrible thing, and I'm glad it was caught sooner rather than later, because we all know that is a really bad thing
sepsis.
to have.
That's very bad.
Yeah, it can be a killer if it's not seen. We've seen lots of people, especially in my trade in the past, unfortunately, have gone the other side. And like I say, according to the reports, nobody's reported this. It's just the rumours that are out there. But regardless of what it is, I help him. I wish him a speedy recovery in his
Yeah,
hospital bed. I'm sure. Well, the rumours are that he won't be here for the Crystal Palace game either.
no, I doubt
Like
it. Yeah,
and like I say, if it is what's been stated, he'll probably be in hospital for 4 or 5 days anyway. So anyway, good luck anyway, and hopefully it's a good one. Just gonna have a quick look
yeah.
at
Just real
anybody
quick,
else. Right?
Chelsea has tied it up. It's
Yeah,
2-2 now,
2-2.
unfortunately for us. But hey, 1 point. I'll take them getting 1 point out of this one if they can.
It's two.
If Ipswich can hold on, there's still 10+ minutes left. So
Yeah, I've always said, mate, it's 2 points. It's 2 point lost. You know, a
yeah,
draw. People gone are the days now in the Premier League where a point away from home is a point won. It's not,
yeah,
especially if you're in with the shouts of European places. It's two
yeah.
points lost,
Well,
especially
this
against teams like Ipswich.
yeah, and it's a home game, so this is a home game for Chelsea. They shouldn't be dropping any points on this one. So
Yeah, exactly.
hopefully that happens, but they're looking really dangerous right now. So
Yeah, it's a strange one, I must admit. Right then, so let's get into the team as we see on the screens now. Newcastle, it's exactly as we thought in the build-up. Popey in goal, the back four of Tino, Byrne, Fabian Shaw, and Kieran Trippier. Can't fault that, to be fair. It's a solid one, as always. Midfield, Maestro 3, which is Joe Linton, Tonali, and Gilmares. Again, if these are on fire and on form, best three in the Premier League as we speak, all bring something different to the game. Harvey Barnes keeps his left side position. Isak up top as, again, undroppable at the moment. Still potentially carrying this groin strain, but for me, if he gets a sight on goal, he knows how to put it away. And Jacob Murphy, the man who's been gifted this season, because obviously he's got his G&A has been top notch.
yeah,
And like I say, a lot of players especially with Fabian Schär's shot from the halfway line. Would have given up on that one. But
Yeah.
his continued run and his endeavour to get there got him the just rewards, if you like.
Definitely.
Going on to the Man U side, you've got Bayender. Like I say, the Turkish keepers coming board. A usual three for. I mean, people say to me, is this them going forward? Well, it is. It seems to be the way they like to set up with the three at the back. Harry Maguire apparently needs minutes in his legs, and yet, especially when he had Anana behind him, he looked like the lad who was panicking the most out of the three. And so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what type of information is being given to these three at the back today. Mazraoui, Maguire, and Yoro. I'm surprised they haven't given Yoro a bit of a rest, as he's literally only just come back into the side after a lengthy period out. You've got a young 18-year-old Amas now on left back or left wing back, with Dalot on the right side. Two dropping midfielders, Casemiro and Eriksen. Then you've got Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho. And Xerxes gone up front instead of Haaland. Again, doesn't surprise me. The lad scored in midweek in the European competition, so I suppose his confidence is high at the minute. And the one thing I look at with this team, again, if I can just go on to the other screen now and flatten it out. The one thing that I noticed with this is, and again, if you go back and look at the last few games of Man U, they've got this ability of dropping into a 5 at the back and having a very, very low block, which seems to have been very frustrating for the opposition. Obviously, Amas wasn't included. He did come on as a substitute. But like I say, they can drop into a 5 with Dalot dropping out, which will squeeze. And obviously, you've got the ball playing Eriksen, who, again, we all know he's got the ability to throw a ball. You've got the hard man of Casemiro, who will be a spoiler. And from what I can see from the formation so far, this is what what I class as the halfway line blast. So again, in the past, Man U have been very open to the way they play, and they look at literally just keeping the ball. And if I just where are we? Items, throw a ball just onto the screen. Let's get rid of that one. If the ball gets dropped from an attack from Newcastle, so if we all press as we all know we can do, with this type of situation where J7, Tonali, and Bruno all press on, we know Tino likes to get down this side, so Dalot will be sitting back. What I don't want to see is the situation where we've got just one clearance into these channels, and you've got the runners getting on. What I can see happening is you'll have us dropping into a 3 at the back, so it'll be Trippier, obviously keeping an eye on Fernandes. At the minute, this is the way they've lined up. I can see these two swapping over if they're not getting much change out of each other. But this relationship, for me, could be the one, especially if he goes touch tight. If he doesn't get the block on, I think Garnacho's got the beating behind if he gets a chance. So we've got to be careful of that. And like I say, this has always been, well, from what I've seen, and I've watched about 5 or 6 matches, highlights matches, if you like, of Man U over the last few games, and where they've become very negative in a way. There's an outlet with the ball over the top just for them to run onto. So what they try and do is just stay quite low in the block and try and block that penalty box. Go very narrow. So Dalot drops out, and then you can have Mazraoui coming round. Then they go to more of a 5 because whoever plays right wing back comes round to try and just cover the back stick. And that's where they'll try and stop us playing, because that's been our favoured position. So for me, if the ball gets into these situations, when we become the pendulum, which is now we can do, what you'll get is the ball just being pulled back into this type of situation. I just want to see it moved quicker. If I'm honest,
Mhm.
I think in the past we've been a little bit stagnant when it comes to the ball moving to left to right hand side. So, I mean, before I go on with my thoughts, what do you think uh, about this Man U side now you've seen it and the potential that they can, give you?
Well, Stephen Harker here is saying Casemiro's on the bench. So
Is
if
he?
that's if that's the case, then it makes sense because Casemiro and Ericsson started against us the first time we played, and we just destroyed those two guys because they're
Oh,
just too old
absolutely.
and slow. And so if he's starting, I love it. If he's not starting and they have somebody younger, quicker, then that could be a little bit more of an issue because Ericsson and Bruno are probably about on the same page when it comes to speed, and Casemiro's not much faster. So, um,
Yeah, well,
like,
it's Ugarte that's on.
okay,
Apologies, because when I looked at the team sheet that hadn't come out on the Man U site yet, it was updated by SofaScore apparently, and Casemiro was on. So that's easily rectified. So we can
yeah,
do that now.
just like you were saying, I think the key there is going to be moving the ball quickly. We tend to struggle once teams get kind of solidified with their back line and low block against us. And another reason why I think that happens is we don't shoot from distance enough. They have a new keeper in, and when you think about it, we just talked about the Onana and how bad he's kind of been for the most part this year. What does that say about the backups? If it's taken this long to put this guy in,
Yeah, yeah,
what is his ability? So let's test him. Let's get some shots on target from distance, whether we feel like they're the best shots or not. I think putting shots on target and letting Isak and Barnes and some of these guys crash could help us a lot in that situation. Just put some pressure on the keeper. Um, the other thing is in the first matchup, Maguire did start. Now Yoro wasn't there, and he does bring in a lot more size, height. But I still think there's a hole in the middle that we can exploit, and that's something Isak and like Joe Linton did in the goal. Let's crash the box. Let's get some shots from distance. Crash the box, move the ball quickly, and just see what happens. I think Garnacho, just like you were saying, could be an issue if Dan Burn is the one on him. But I do like physicality against him. I think if any,
mm,
he's kind of a paperweight. He's not really he hasn't doesn't have a lot of strength. And when I see people put a body on him, he gets frustrated. He doesn't go anywhere. So that'll be important if Dan Byrne can kind of position his body well, get in front of him. That could work out as well. But J7 on him. I think the biggest issue is Bruno Fernandez wasn't there in the first game. He's going to be there now. He's a very creative guy. We all know that. Regardless of what you think of his personality, seems a little arrogant. But just like we were saying in the preview, let's kind of be physical with him too. I think we just need to really come in and be physical with Manchester United. Period. Get them frustrated. Get Bruno Fernandez frustrated, and see what happens.
yeah, I agree with you. I said that the one thing that I would do with a lot of these is just go through them a little bit.
Yeah.
Hard but fair. I mean, I don't want some.
Hmm.
I mean, people will say to me, and have said to me, I've got a couple of Man U fans of old, if you like, that follow them, and they said they're a poor side. They have been a poor side all season, but the last couple of games, it seems as though, and again, you look at what Pep Guardiola said and what Amorim said is in his pre-match and his post-match stuff past Man City in the derby, was the fact that when the way he set the team up was to frustrate, and what you end up doing there is taking, as you've just said, we've got to not be reluctant to shoot, because if
Hmm.
you take that past too many and it gets it charged down or whatever and it blocked and it runs to a Man U player, especially
Yeah.
Ericsson. We all know Ericsson, Fernandez. They've all got that pass about them. I was looking at Liverpool today, and looks like they've got out of jail as well. To be
Yeah.
fair, with what I've just seen, they've been very lucky against West Ham. Um, for me, if you've got a player, I mean, Salah today, it's a simple ball across the box for players to run to. It's virtually an open goal at the back stick. Man U, as poor as they are, still have individuals that can hurt you if
Yeah.
you allow them to play.
Yep.
And you're absolutely bang on. What we've got to do is be solid when we get, like I say, put players on players. It's about hassling. It's about everything else. Now, Manchester United's record at Newcastle isn't great. We know that. They've been reasonably poor for a while now. But do you see us getting frustrated if the tactic that, from what I've seen now and what I've watched over the last 5 or 6 games, Man U adapt away from home more than at home, is just to go on this very low block. Now, historically, we haven't been the best side to overcome a low block, but we certainly need to see Tonali cross more often if his crosses aren't shots. Because if he just think,
Yeah.
if he doesn't think about it, he's certainly got some
Yeah.
power behind it. And you're absolutely right. I think we need to stop taking this pendulum further and further around and not delivering the ball into the box. And the other thing we've got to do is get players into the box to get on the
Yes.
end of some of these crosses. Like you quite correctly say, we have got to put pressure on this lad, this Turkish boy, Bienda, whatever his name is, and hopefully we get the right result from it. Because it's so easy not to just to think that you've got to keep the ball. Ball retention's one thing, and how many games have we seen this season where the opposition have had 70-80% of the ball and lost 1 or 2-0, and it doesn't mean a thing, ball retention, and we've been on the other side of that because again, historically, we've not been the best team at holding on to the ball, have we?
No, not at all. I think, like you say, just putting pressure on them. I think they definitely could frustrate us. There's no question about it. Low blocks frustrate us, period. And so I think if we can get an early goal in, you might see a similar kind of cruise to a win type situation. You're going to see Manchester United kind of droop around and feel sorry for themselves. They're not a team that has a lot of mental capacity, mental strength. So an early goal will make wonders for us if we start going, 30th, 40th, get to halftime 0-0. It's going to be more frustrating for us, I think, than them. So yeah, I think an early goal within the first 25, 30 minutes could really solidify the game for us. But if we keep going longer and longer without scoring, that could be a real issue. So I do like the Keegan thing. I think it came at the right time in terms of the crowd. I think the crowd's going to be big time into this one. And that's going to help us a lot. And the fact that Eddie's out, Keegan's in. He's not coaching, but
He's not
he's
coaching,
going to
no.
be there. And so it kind of comes at the right time. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I think an early first 20, 30 minutes, if we can put one past them, that'll help us a ton in this one. The longer it goes, the more frustrated we'll get, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Excuse me. I totally agree with that. We have got a little bit of I say breathing space, if you like, because some of the results again have gone for us in our favour this weekend. And like I said, with the games in hand, mean nothing unless you get the points that with them,
exactly.
because you're still in the same situation if you don't. So all of the pressure, if you like, is on Newcastle to perform. So just going on to again, this is just some league positions and everything else. And as you can see, find ourselves in a really comfortable position. Now, I'm not saying these are up to date with any means, because, like I say, there's still the games at the weekend that probably haven't been updated on this site that I'm on at the moment. But I'm looking at potentially Manchester United and Newcastle here. Newcastle have shown form, scoring 4 wins in their last 5 matches. They've also drawn no games and suffered 1 loss. strange one, this, isn't it, with Newcastle, because we aren't a team of drawers.
No.
We very rarely get a draw. I mean, and I think that's why, if you've got Mister and Mrs. Neutral out there, we do get a really good following when it comes to, just the everyday man watching the game. Because Newcastle is usually a very interesting one, and potentially could be a high-scoring game. The matches have been balanced, as 2 out of 5 games saw both teams find the net. High-scoring matches have been a trend, with over 2.5 goals scoring in 3 matches. And again, going on to Man U, delivered decent performances over the last few games, achieving 2 wins in their last 5 performances. They've also drawn 2 games and suffered 1 loss. So again, if you look at that on a balance, it's a team that's improved. And again, you look at a game against Leicester, you expect them to win. But the game against Real Sociedad, that was a toughie. They got a win, and it was a convincing win. Again, not all European sides travel very well, and you saw that with PSG in past, and even Real Madrid just gone by, didn't perform very well on the road. And then obviously they go and get the draw against Man City, but again, they're at home. Again, very frustrating. Pep Guardiola's side, who were very technical on the ball, want to play the little gives and goes in the small triangles. Man U didn't really give them the room to manoeuvre. And then obviously they go to Lyon and get a draw. And again, it wasn't a convincing game. I mean, Lyon had lots of chances to win that game, and potentially should have won it a lot more comfortably than obviously they ended up having just the 2-2. But again, high-scoring matches have been a trend again, with over 2.5 occurring in 3 matches. But again, if you look about, and again, the trend, I don't want people to look at this and say, it's going to be a 4-4 or anything like that. The trend for me against the top 6 teams, and that's what I'm looking at with Man U, they've gone very negative, very dull, very stop the goals going in type of team. And see what we can get on the counter, and that to me is something that we need to watch more than anything else. And just go. That's literally from what I was going to say on here. But what I looked at on Man U here, with only 10 wins, 8 draws and 13 losses, goals for column, and the goals conceded isn't great for the wearing of that badge. Obviously, Man U of days gone by. I don't know whether you saw. I can't think of his name. No, it's gone straight out of my head. Some of the comments of past players about this Man U side and how poor it is, and obviously there's been a lot of talk about Amrin having lots of money to be supported again over the coming summer. Every manager that seems to have got in there seems to have been given the opportunity to develop a side. Now, Amrin's going to have the same, but there's some players that are just being told that the days are numbered there, and they reckon it's the 6. The Man U 6 are all told now that there's an opportunity for you to go in the summer. I don't think they'll get a lot of money for these guys. If you think of the amount of money they spent on a lot of them, I can't see them getting or reaping anywhere near the money that they paid out.
No, and the other thing you have to think of too is, when you throw in Newcastle, Aston Villa, Forest now, it's not just big 6 that are going to go out and suck up all the talent anymore. You're adding 3 more teams, potentially 4. There's a lot of sides out there now that players might want to go to outside of manure. I mean, when you look at, and the other thing you have to look at too is Manchester United hasn't developed anybody in a long time. There's been no young player that's gone into Manchester United and all of a sudden become the next best thing. In fact, a lot of times they leave and you see an improvement when they get out of there. So, Amarim's a new coach, new manager. We'll see if he's able to bring confidence enough from young players to bring him in. Obviously, the badge is still the badge. They're still considered the biggest, side in England. So understand, I get that they're still going to be able to bring in talent. There's no question, but I think it's going to be a lot more difficult than it's been in years past. A lot of players are going to want to go to sides that are already in Champions League. They don't want to have to go to a side that's building.
Mm.
Villa's already close. They'll probably be in Europe somewhere next year, and they're in a semifinal of the Champions League this year. Whereas Manchester United, well, they're doing okay in Europa League, but they look terrible in English football. And again, when you look at some of these players that have left, I think Sancho actually scored the tying goal, and it was a great goal from Chelsea today against
Mm.
Ipswich. I mean, it was a beautiful goal. No keeper in the world was going to stop it. So, as and he just came out of Manchester United. He was one of those players that I forgot. So I think it's going to be more difficult than they think. You don't just continue to reload, and then you go to what you said. You buy players for high, sell them for low. At some point you're going to have massive issues, and I think financially, Manchester United's not where they've been in the past as well. There, so I think there's a lot of things that will go against them in terms of building a side for Amarim. Obviously, like I say, they're still going to be able to get players. They're still going to be able to get good players. It's just going to be a lot more difficult, and they're going to have to kind of work. How are they going to navigate a market that's a lot more difficult for them to bring in players now than they're used to?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? How do you replace players now when we all know the financial scrutiny that they're under?
Yeah.
I think that's common knowledge for everybody now. Um, so how do you? And well done to the girls, by the way, because I think they've won 6-0 today against Blackburn
Wow.
Rovers. So well done to the lassies at St James. I don't know where. Obviously, it's not St James's Park. But they were wherever they were playing. I've just had it come through into my ears. So let's have a quick look at the two teams. Again, we've done it, but we can see the. I'm just going to go through again. So starting 11 for Newcastle: Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Joe Linton, Tonali, Barnes, Isak, Livermore, Murphy, Byrne, Bruno G, who's captain. And on the bench for Newcastle, we've got Dubravka, Wilson, Gordon returns. Again, what Mad Dog had already whispered when he was doing the presser. Target, Kraft, Asula, Longstaff, Miley and Neve. And for Manu, again, Bayander, Lindelof, Mazraoui, and Lindelof. I didn't see Lindelof playing in that one.
Huh. Lindelof.
So have they made a change late on? Because this is literally just come up. So Lindelof's in the side. Well, that's an interesting one. Bayander, Lindelof, Mazraoui, Fernandez, Xerxes, Ericsson, Yoro, Garnacho, Dallo, Ugarte, Amas. And on the bench, you've got Heaton, Heaven, Maguire, Shaw, Casemiro, Dorgu, Mainu, Mount, and Hoyland. It's when you say it like that, there's not a lot of names that shout out and say, "Wow, this is going to be a strong Man U side," isn't it?
No, no,
It's weird.
definitely not. Yeah,
It's really weird.
it's very strange. Yeah, not a whole lot to say. They just don't have a lot of talent. But again, that's the funny thing. Just like I've been saying, we can look at their side right now and just go, wow, they don't really have any players. But then some of these players leave and go to other places, and all of a sudden they've kind of rejuvenated their career and look like they did before they went to Manchester United. So it's so interesting how as soon as Fergie left, what's happened to Manchester United. It's just kind of a strange phenomenon. Doesn't matter who their manager is; they get a lot of players in, and those players do not perform the way they thought that they should. And
No,
then they go elsewhere and they do perform. So
yeah,
maybe the badge is too heavy. I don't know.
maybe. It is crazy. A couple of guys in the chat have said, "I love the way that you've taken on board the manure
Yeah.
wording."
Well, I will say this. So I'm sure people have caught me in previous shows. I've called them United, and one thing you have to understand is here in America, uh, everybody calls Manchester United United, and when it comes to Newcastle, it's always Newcastle or the Tune or
Yeah, yeah,
Black and White Arm. There's so many other nicknames besides United for Newcastle. When you look at it, Newcastle is the real United because Manchester is not United at all. But so it's hard. I got to break that habit of calling them United. So I just got to go with manure.
Yeah, I often get. I mean, obviously, unfortunately, in days gone by, that was obviously what they were renowned for. You know, it was always United. So
Yeah,
it sticks. You know, you're a United fan. Well, I'm a United fan, but it's the
yeah,
other United. You
yeah,
know, and
yeah,
I've always been classed as, oh, you're the other United fan, aren't you? You know,
yeah.
around here. So it's really weird. Um, Obviously, Win isn't with us today, but he has. Just going to have a quick look to make sure I've still got it, and I need to make sure that the sound comes on this because it doesn't always work. But I'll do my absolute best to make sure it plays on here. So bear with us because obviously Win had his. He had some comments to say pre-match while he was out having a fag. Outside Aspers, but I just want to make sure that because this, for whatever reason, doesn't always play on my screen, as in what you guys can hear out there. So let me know if you can hear this. See, it's not wanting to do it again. I don't know why. It just won't allow me to click the share button. Oh, now, please, just give us the heads up or the thumbs up in the chat to see if you guys can hear this. Because, like I say, I can hear it in my ears, but it doesn't always come through the speakers. Can you hear that, Brant?
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it either.
I can't. No.
No, that's what I said. I don't know why. I don't know why. It just never wants to play. Let's just see. That's not muted. And I've got all the. Whenever I do this, right? Chris does it, and there's no issues. I do it. Even though I've ticked all the right boxes. But like I said, what it doesn't want to do for me on here is share.
Yeah,
It's like every time I go to share the screen, it comes up with something else. And I don't know why. But there you go. Mighty Win wanted to say he's not so confident today as he was, as he has been in the past. Let me see if I can just trying to see if there's somewhere else that is on. No audio sound. So why is there no audio sound? I don't know why. It baffles me at times. This I will have a play to see what I can do and see if I can get it working for you because it plays in my ears. So I'm expecting it to be out there, you
yeah,
know, in all the wilderness, but it just doesn't want to play. And I keep thinking there's something that I haven't checked, but there is definitely something my end that doesn't
yeah.
allow.
If you
Doesn't
want to
want.
mess with that, I can look at the
Yeah, look
standings
at
and
the
kind of
chat.
go over some
Look
of
at the
the
chat and stuff
in the
like that
chat. Yeah,
for
yeah,
us,
yeah.
because I think that's an important one
All
as
right,
well.
let's see here. Let's go on up here. Um, Keep their Bruno quiet. Yeah, agreed. He's their most uh, definitely one of their, and Ericsson's out there now as well, so he's going to be somebody to keep an eye on. Let's see what else we got here. 2-2. Yeah, so Chelsea Ipswich tied 2-2. That's a good result. I know that it looked like Ipswich could have won that game, and it would have even been a better result. But quite honestly, Chelsea are now 1 point above us, and we have 2 games in hand. So that's a good result for us. We got Sophie B 3-0 the tune. That's what I'm saying. I'm going with 3-0, especially if we can get one early. That'll be good. Craven, exactly. Put our chances away, and we'll move on. We should have more opportunities than them for sure. Where else? We're at Queenie here. Just welcome to everyone joining across all social media streams. You're most welcome. Please hit the like. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for your support. I'm hearing myself, by the way.
Are you hearing yourself now? Yeah,
Yeah.
this is probably because I've got this on, and this is what happens. You get this reverb. So just while you're there, let's just see if this works now, and then we'll go. See if you can hear this now.
Good afternoon, everybody. Man United at St James's Park. Always a good day, isn't it? Everybody seems to be super confident, and I'm just not so sure. We're getting all the news out at the minute. I haven't heard the full team news yet, but we're getting all the news out that Man United are playing a weakened team, which is what I predicted they would do. They've got one objective only, which is the Europa Cup. Get them in the Champions League, and Amarin is clever enough to realise that. But they have been very successful this season against the top teams at playing a low block and beating them, well, not necessarily beating them, but not losing on transition. That's what they're going to try to do, obviously. They've taken the clown out of goal, apparently. I still think we'll have enough to do it. I think Eddie being hospitalised could actually help us, because I think the group, as he keeps referring to everyone, will be really up for it to cheer him up in his hospital bed. And so I still think we'll sneak it, which is why I've gone for a very, very conservative 2-1. However, I do think that if we get off to a good start, which we've done several times this season, scored in the first few minutes. I mean, there's a couple of times that the opposition have scored early doors as well. I think if we can get off to a good start, the crowd's going to be up for it, and we're going to have a good day. King Kev is going to be there, apparently, and if King Kev's there, the atmosphere will be electric. So here's hoping for a cracking game. I'll see you all in the post-match instant reaction. Get yourselves on there. Come on and let me know what you think. Hopefully we'll be celebrating, because we'll never get a better chance to get up that league. And I think we've kicked the habit now of blowing must-win games. So let's get on the job, get the job done. Another 3 points. Bring on Palace. How are the lads?
And there you go. I mean, it's. I mean, what more can you ask for from the man? I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because Win is our happy clapper, and he is literally full of joy when it comes to Newcastle and everything Newcastle. But I'm not sure whether the gaffer being in hospital will cheer them on. And I did. I don't know whether you guys have read anything of the Chronicle. I know you probably haven't. But it's really weird what Eddie Howe's news makes one big thing clear. And Fabian Schär has been talking to the Chronicle about the preparation for the Man U game. And apparently, even as poorly as Eddie Howe has been, let's say he's been bedbound by the admission of Mad Dog in the presser, he was really poorly apparently. Even to that level, Eddie Howe has been recording training sessions for the lads and sending them to Mad Dog to obviously replicate during this week in preparation for the game. And I think that, you know, the one thing for me, it shows the character of this man. You know, even when he's not well, the lad is still willing to put himself out and obviously try and give the lads as much support as he can, and there was a cracking meme, and again, I'm not going to put anything on the screen because I don't think it's fair. But the one thing that I did take from this meme, and it's Eddie Howe in his hospital bed with all the VAR screens around him and everything else, and it was very well put together. But the one thing that I am going to take from it was Eddie Howe has been diagnosed of being the best manager in the Premier League, and I just thought, you know what, that is pretty cool. And like I say, I'm just going to leave it at that. And and as Wynne said, it's going to be a special occasion today if King Kev is at St James's Park, because he's idolised. He's been idolised there for years, and fair play to him for doing that. We've got 12 minutes in, so I'll let you crack on with a couple of more of the chats, else we're never going to get a chance to do it.
Yeah, okay. So let's see here. What else we got? Was that Queenie? There we go. Stephen Harker's talking about Palace. He's a little nervous about that, which absolutely. Palace are doing what they did last year. He also believes 3-0. I think that's a good shout if we score early. Let's see here. Mighty Win was in the chat for a moment there. How with the lads? Turnstiles, here we come. Big up Gaz and Brant. Hit the likes and enjoy the show. What else we have?
Strange old chap. Yeah, well, I mean, he's been called worse, Steve.
Yeah, much worse. Let's see here. Willock again. He needs to move on in the summer. No Willock again. So, yeah, Willock's out. But that's concussion protocol. If you've been diagnosed with a concussion, you can't do anything. The league forces you out. So even if he's feeling 100%, I don't think he's able to come back in this one. It's a protocol you have to abide by. Let's see.
There's a question coming from Hells there. Will you be running the clock today, lads? Well, as I don't know whether you guys are aware now, Sean, I am not in America, so all of the backdrop and everything else that you can see is the domain of Chris over the pond. So he's in control of the clock, and it's all automated. So I have no control of that, buddy. But like I say, the clock will be on the screen. The other problem that I have, unfortunately, is because I get a lot of the live feed is via America, so it doesn't always come across to me in a great format. And my live feed, because I'm upstairs on a computer, is delayed by 40 seconds. So it doesn't matter whether I can't see it on there. But if I watch it on my screen, I'm going to be 40 seconds behind whatever you see on this screen. So it's just going to be, let's see how we get on today. It may be a bit difficult because I haven't got Chris with me who will control it that end. But it will be on the screen, Sean. You just need to keep an eye on the time, buddy. But I will keep you updated on what I can see in the corner anyway.
Yeah, and then Stephen during Wynn's what we showed there with Wynn, talking about he's nervous about the game. Ashley PTSD from winning this one, he's saying, which could be. I think it's more PTSD from a lot of chances missed early in the season.
Yeah.
Let's see here. That's pretty much. Oh, here we go. Craven. Tyndall just said on Sky, Eddie had no input for this game, which we all know isn't true, but so it's not fair to put on him while he's ill. So if we lose the game, it's not Eddie's fault, is all Tyndall's saying.
And to be fair, that's fair enough, isn't it? I was just going to say exactly the same. Whatever happens today, and I keep saying when you lose your gaffer, especially to an illness or whatever reason, the gaffer just can't make it. Do you lose the impetus from the team to go out there and provide? I don't think you do. No. I think this could be a kick up the backside. If I'm honest with you, I'm not sure I'd go to the road that Wynn said about I'm glad the gaffer is in hospital because I don't think that them are the words I'd have used, type of thing. But I do understand his meaning behind it, and like I say, there's going to always be that element of, is this a hindrance or is it a positive? Now, I hope it's the latter. I hope it's like, Tyndall has done his magic. I mean, obviously, he's got less chance of getting a yellow card today unless he shouts his mouth off too much by encroaching the pitch, the encroachment area. So, because obviously he always likes to double up next to his mate. So Tyndall has probably got less of a chance. But the one person I do believe has got a massive chance of being yellow carded today is Jason.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, the referee hasn't had a great games. When he's refereed us, wherever it is.
What was it? Three matches, 11 yellow cards or something of that
Yeah,
nature?
Michael Oliver. He's not been great. I mean, he's one of these managers that just seems to have a little bit of a I don't know.
He's from Manchester as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a bit of a red flag when it comes to Newcastle. He just doesn't seem to go, to go for us. So it is a strange one. It is a strange one.
What I can say about how, my playing days back long time ago, and of course I never even, I wasn't on any kind of professional nothing like that. Obviously, it was like high school. But when I did play, when you're out on the field, the only time it hits you is like halftime. When you're out playing, you're playing. Obviously, the manager, the coach can give you direction during a match. There's no question about that. But when you're out there on the field and you're actually playing, it's familiar. And the only time it's strange is when you either look over physically and go, "Oh wait, where's Howe? Oh yeah, he's out." Or halftime. I think halftime might be a little strange for the guys without Eddie. But when you go out onto the field, it kind of few and far between do you have. At least in my experience, obviously, I don't know anything about professionals, but that's I know when my manager would be out or whatever, it didn't really hit me unless it was like halftime or they were making a change, and I'm looking over like, all right, what are we changing? Oh, where's he at? Oh, he's not there. So
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to affect the guys.
Yeah, I mean, Queenie's just said there, they should give more incentive for the team. To do more for Eddie, if you like, give the most needed to help the healing process. And I think that's a great way of looking at it, isn't it? Because like I say, it's that positive mindset. And like I say, you're knowing Eddie for what Eddie's like. I mean, like I say, I'm sure he'll be dragging himself out of his sick bay and I'm sure he's got half a dozen TVs around him at every angle, match cam, you name it, he'll have it. And I'm sure Tyndall's on the end of the bat phone, ready to get his ears. I'm just looking at the War Flags display now with Keegan all over the back, and I mean it's tremendous. It really is. I haven't seen a picture of the man himself yet, if he's there. And there's a massive, great flag of Eddie Howe as well. So, like I say, not only are they commemorating a past manager, elite manager, but also congratulating the new one, because, like I say, I think he deserves all the plaudits, if I'm honest. We are 4 minutes away. The lads are in the tunnel. I can see that much. In America, we're on a as always, we are on an ad break. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Like that. Yeah.
Just before they come out onto the field, let's go to an ad. But I can see on my backup channel, like I say, that he's a bit delayed. Bruno's coming out in all white training tops. Look very splendid. I must admit, the all white training shirt and black shorts, the zip ups, and then Man U's are all red. So very old days. I love that, the old fashioned stuff. There's a lot of trending going on about this new shirts. I know you've been involved in a lot of the discussion about next year's shirts. I must admit, I quite like the look of the is it the 97, 98 one? The green, green and yellow stripe.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually just bought that one off of we won't say what site, but
Newcastle,
Newcastle, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've got the original that literally doesn't. It used to fit me, and I'm talking like
Yeah,
35 years ago.
right.
But I do squeeze into it now and again just to show that I've got it, and it's still in its cellophane bag. It's been in there. Well, I say I very rarely take it out, to be fair. Um, but it is an interesting one.
Yeah,
To say the least. So I look at all these shirts. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the new home kit for
yeah,
next season, and from what I've seen, where it greys out, I think
uh-huh.
that one obviously is a rip off. I can't see that coming at all because it just looks like it's been watched too many times. But the version, and obviously we know it's illegal because you can't have stripes on your back of the shirt in European competitions. So we
I
know
didn't know that.
it's yeah, it has to be on a solid backing.
Hmm.
I believe if that used to be the rule, whether that's changed, I mean, I'm not up to date with the new rules. Yeah, you have to have like a shield with the
Yeah,
number
yeah,
on, rather than just the stripes, because you can, referees can lose track
yeah.
of who it is, type of thing. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I saw the away strip. I mean, the third strip is just like the Saudi Arabia national team's third
Yeah,
kit, if that's the kit. But I
right.
looked at the traditional, the old traditional that come, but they're doing it with diamonds. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that one.
So it's the same makeup of that 97-98 kit that I love and cherish, but instead of having it just stripes in the green and yellow, they've got it as diamonds going up, and it
Huh.
looks lush. It really
Okay.
does look nice.
Well, one thing Adidas definitely is doing is tapping into the retro market with us. I think Newcastle fans love retro. They've clearly everything retro is sold out within hours. It seems like so they know what we like on that end. Now the home kit that's sounds like a lot of people don't like the home kit. I'm actually one of the few who don't mind it, but
Yeah, yeah,
I'll probably buy one. But yeah, they definitely seem to be tapping in on the retro stuff outside of the third kit, which, like you say, is like solid green, if that's what it
yeah.
really is. So,
It's really weird. Anyway, we are literally on the verge of kickoff, so I'll see you. Are you coming back at half time, Brant? Are you disappearing and then coming back,
yeah, I
or are
should
you
be back for
staying?
half.
All right,
Yeah,
buddy. I'll
I'll
see
come
you at
back
half
for
time.
halftime.
Take
Alrighty.
care, mate. Speak to you soon.
Yep.
Ta-ra.
Yeah, yeah.
So there you go. We are underway at St James's Park, and Trippier plays the long ball over the top for Murphy to run onto. It's a bit of a foot race, and Murphy's got there with in front of Euro. He does pass it across. Lindelof again, not having much confidence in his keeper, takes it away from him, and they go long up towards Xerxes. And again, it's a bit of a battle royale in that midfield, and it's won back again from that long ball to Newcastle. Tino now having a run down that left-hand side, stand up against, he's J7 now in some space. He plays it out to Murphy on that right-hand side. Ooh, Trippier goes a little bit early. Well, I mean, it's a goal, but it's offside. Trippier went. Murphy just dwindled on the ball a little bit. And then, unfortunately, Murphy, by playing the ball late, Trippier was miles offside. So unfortunate, because it was a ball into J7 who had a tap in, but I mean, obviously everybody else had stood still at that time. So again, this is the new keeper from Man U, kicking long, trying to get Xerxes in, but big Dan Burn gets his head onto that. J7 just lays it off to Tino. Not a great ball from Tino, and Man U now take it back. Garnacho playing on this right-hand side, which is what we predicted, with Bruno Fernandes playing on that left-hand side. Just waiting for everything to go off. I can see Manu playing down the right-hand side for Garnacho to run onto, but Dan Burn with them big legs just took him out, really. There was not a chance of Dan Burn getting anywhere near that ball. So there you go. Throw into Manu, Dallo to take. And I'm just seeing that Man U now. I'm trying to keep an eye on the screen. The screen in front of me it's not giving me a clear view. Man U on the 25, 30 yard mark, who tries a shot there, but it was blocked. Tino brings the ball away. He's faced up by two players though, and Man U managed to get it back there. A little bit of a run from Manchester United now, playing it out to Garnacho on the right hand side. Garnacho faced up by Tino. Couple of poor balls, if I'm honest with you, from Newcastle, especially Tino coming out from that left back position. Eriksen. Just, keeping hold of the ball. Newcastle now getting all the bodies behind in this 4-5-1 shape, just trying to press them back. Lindelof now. Yoro, again, all the way back to the keeper. And which way is he going, this new lad? Mazraoui goes long down the line, and Big Dad Burn there, literally chasing Garnacho everywhere he goes. We're on about 3 minutes 22, 23, 24, 25, if anybody's watching. I am going to try and remove Brandt from the screen, if I may, but it doesn't look like it's going to allow me. Bear with us a second. I'll wait for there's a stopping play, and I'll change that screen. Shot across goal! Ooh! That was that Murphy there having a shoot from 20 yards on the angle to try and get into that far corner. Great attempt, to be fair, just off target. Xerxes plays this really strange ball, to be fair, and it's a quick ball from Trippier up to Murphy, and literally 20 yards out, he strikes across the keeper, just pulls it literally 6 to 8 inches wide, so did really well. Shaw now, he's just holding his midriff. Probably got a bit of an elbow in the stomach there. Just going to try and change the build-up screen just for a second, just so I can remove from the screen. There you go. And then hopefully I can transition that across, and then when I come back into my screen, we should be where we need to be, hopefully. And there you go. So I can exactly. He ain't got Brandt spoiling my good looks. You don't want that, do you? So anyway, Man United now with the ball. Garnacho. Just keeping hold of the ball, Man U. Just trying to pin Newcastle back. But again, got a good shape, this 4-5-1. And it's difficult for Man U. And again, ball over the top for the likes of Garnacho to try and get around the back of us. Just nowhere near. With Ugarte, and Amrim just turns away in a bit of disgust there. 5 minutes, 21 seconds. It's still 0-0. Just trying to give everybody instructions on what's going on. And again, in the chat, if you can keep it to yourself if there's a result, because again, I don't know where you are. And just so you don't spoil it for anybody else that's just listening, we'll try and keep it all nice and good amongst ourselves. Tino now on this left-hand side, up to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes comes inside, lets Tino run past him. Back to Dan Burn, who goes square to Shaw. Shaw out to Trippier. Trippier up to Murphy now. Murphy on the halfway line, gives it back to Trippier. Again, just trying to keep that shape and that momentum going. The ball over the top for Isak to run onto. Yoro chests it down. He trips over the ball this time, though. But luckily for him, Lindelof was backing him up because Isak was ready to pounce. Amas now, this new lad, it's an 18-year-old playing left wing back for Man U. It's back with Yoro into Eriksen. Yoro back to the keeper. I can never... it's a dodgy ball out to this Dalot, but he manages to get away with it. Lindelof just plays it back to Mazraoui, who gives it back to the keeper. Yoro now with a little bit of space, but like I say, not giving me much confidence at the minute, this back three of Man U. So there's plenty of opportunities there if this is the way they want to play football. Eriksen drops into a bit deeper position. It looks like Tonali's got him man for man. Ball down the line, but again blocked, given back to Newcastle. Murphy down the line, he tries it again. Murphy keeps it in, and it's Tonali now on the right-hand side. Not seeing much of Tonali in the first 7 minutes, to be fair. There's a bit of a push on... sure who that well, it's Bruno, but again, nothing given by the keeper. It was charged down there from Bruno. Press from Harvey Barnes on the keeper. Keeper goes long. Over the top of Dan Burn, but Trippier just, again, no press on the ball, really. Xerxes just let the ball go, and you can see Bruno Fernandes, he's screaming at them to get tight. He doesn't want to give Newcastle any time whatsoever. Got good attitude when it comes to the want until it goes against him. A bit of a giveaway there from Murphy. Pushing now towards Delawa towards the back stick. I think Xerxes manages to keep that in ball, but Xerxes going for a penalty there. The referee's just said, no, I'm not having that, but he's holding on to Murphy's hand. Murphy tries to get up to the top towards Isak. Isak tries to turn. Touch hard, really hard on that touch line, but it's gone out of play this time. Referee should have given Murphy a free kick for me there. Ball comes into the back stick. Xerxes manages to keep it in, and it just strikes Murphy on the side of the arm. But I mean, he's literally body shape was all right. His arms are tucked into his side. It was never going to be a penalty. Man U keeper again goes looking for Xerxes, but again, Fabian Schär touch tight on him and bundles him to the ground on halfway line. Free kick to Man U. Fabian Schär at the minute, look, still struggling with a bit of a, I don't know whether it was a shoulder or whatever it was, going for the ball that went into his stomach. Seems to have winded him a bit, knocked the sails out of him. Euro now. Again, just playing it safe. Lindelof. Garnacho now has come really deep to get involved in the ball. Mazraoui. Again, gone very like man-to-man like. A little bit of a flick up towards Isak. Isak just tried to glance the ball sideways for Bruno Toronto. Great battle in midfield from J7 there, but J7's just getting pulled, and this time the referee gives J7 the benefit of the doubt, and a free kick to Newcastle just inside the Man U off. J7's just having words with Trips to obviously discuss who's going and who's marking who. Good opportunity this, just inside like Man U off, wide on this left-hand side. It looks like Trippier's going to bend one in with his right foot. Receiving some instructions from the touch line there from the dugout. Mad Dog giving him instructions of what to do, where to go. Good time to score this. Ball in towards that back stick, but a little bit too close to the keeper. And he does well. Under a bit of pressure from his own player. Clutches it from the sky. 10 minutes gone, and it's still 0-0. Oh, these long balls up to Xerxes are just literally going all the way through to Pope. I mean, long may it continue, but the minute Pope has literally been a spectator. So I think that speaks volumes. Pope now with the ball under his feet a little bit there, but manages to dink it out towards Trippier. Trippier up to Bruno. Again, not really seeing much of Bruno, but he gets muscled out by Eriksen. Eriksen now gets the ball back from Fernandes. Fernandes, quick 1-2, give and go. It's a shot. Oh, there you go. It was a quick 1-2 between Bruno Fernandes, Eriksen and Xerxes. And what you got there is some nice little triangles. Whether it was meant, but it was a nice little back heel from Xerxes to Fernandes. And that just gives Xerxes that little bit of an open space of about 3 or 4 yards to get the shot off. But luckily, it wasn't tucked away into a corner. And Popey was comfortable in pushing it over the bar. But there's a warning shot there from the other United. Bruno Fernandes now with a in-swinger. Corner. Plays it short this time to Eriksen. Fernandes plays it low and hard to the near post where Popey just gets down and smothers the ball. Newcastle looking to get away onto the halfway line quickly. Popey throws it out to Isaac. He's stood up a little bit by Garnacho, and Isaac pulls it all the way back to Shaw. Shaw sees an opportunity to go out to Trippier on the other side. Trippier up the line to Murphy. Murphy running towards the corner flag now. Plays it back to Trippier. Trippier got a bit of time and space. Now on to Bruno. Dan Burn. Tino. Again, this system of United, a nice little ball to Harvey Barnes, played square. Nobody on the 6-yard box, nobody attacking that ball. Great opportunity, great little play there from Newcastle and Harvey Barnes, playing that ball square. I don't think anybody expected that. And we were all literally caught flat-footed a little bit there. Tino now up the line. Not a great, good little play there to get the ball back. He lost it for a second, Tino there, and Harvey Barnes. Trippier now down the right-hand side. Murphy. Murphy looks to go on his own on the inside. Plays the ball towards the back stick. But again, it's too close to the keeper. It's Bendor, whatever his name is. And it is in the keeper's hands for Man United, just taking his time. Rolls the ball to the floor. And again, decides to go long, not taking any chances. Keeping it close to himself. Shaw now plays it all the way back to Popey. Again, every time they've gone long, Man U, they just look awful. I mean, like I say, there's no chance they're going to get anything from the type of play that they're doing at the minute. Euro now, with all the way back again to the keeper. It's ball's played up to Isaac inside the box. He dinks it to the back stick. Everybody had come short. Nobody had gambled on that back stick run again. There's opportunities, these half opportunities. It was all press. Great win back from Big Dan Burn. The ball gets cleared up to Isaac. Isaac then with a little sand wedge tries to go into that the far side to try and get somebody running on that back stick. But again, another wasted opportunity if you ask me. Still not sure about this Lindelof in this middle of the back three. Looks a little bit dodgy for me. There's plenty of potential to get around the back of them. This Hamas looks steady on the ball. He's not really done anything wrong yet. A little bit of head tennis in the middle of the park. Ericsson finds some space. Plays it out to this Hamas. Ericsson. Just again keeping hold of the ball. Not really trying or wanting to do anything dodgy with it. Ericsson and Ugarte just again in the middle of the park. Lindelof now to Mazraoui. Mazraoui looks to go long, but he decides to keep it to Dalot. Dalot slips. Tino wins the ball back down this left-hand side. Tino running at Lindelof. There's a challenge on Lindelof. That's a free kick. Oh, it's Dalot, sorry. Challenge from... Who was that to? Oh, I thought he'd given Tino a yellow card there. So Ugarte, he's on a foot race with Tino. He doesn't get anywhere near the ball. He brings Tino down, and Ugarte is now questioning where the talk was. But Dalot made a crazy mistake there. He just literally, there was no pressure on him, and he falls to the ground. Really weird. So Ugarte now under pressure. 16 minutes. So again, Trippier. Looks like Trippier's going to try and get this one into the danger zone. I think we need to really have a go at this Bendor, the new keeper, the Turkish keeper. Trippier now floats it in towards the back stick. Again, too much on that. Goes directly out of play. We've been a bit poor, if I'm honest with you, with some of these set pieces so far. Trippier's questioning. I think you can't question that, lad. It's just very poor play. Bayandor again goes wide, but again, it's a bit of a driven ball out there to Hamas. Just again, it's a poor decision from the goalkeeper. Bruno now with Yoro down on this touchline. He tries to win a corner, Bruno, as he was on his own, but again, it just goes out for a goal kick. Some really dodgy chances from this keeper. I must admit, he's playing some risky football when he goes. He decides to do an Onana and pass the ball. Bayandor now. Goal kick. Again goes long. Looks an easy one for Fabian Schär to win against Xerxes. J7. Tino plays the ball over the top, but again, just into space. And again, it's just far too far forward for anybody to get on the end of. It's weird, but I see Bruno in more of an advanced position than I do Murphy at the minute. Murphy's seems to be very, very deep. I don't know whether that's a tactic that they've done where it allows Bruno to push on, where Murphy's a little bit further on that right midfield position rather than a right winger. Really good play there from Kieran Trippier. Under a bit of pressure from Fernandes, plays it all the way back to Pope. Pope goes long, but again, no one in particular. All the way back to Bayandor. Bit scrappy, if I'm honest, in this first 19 minutes. Xerxes now. Trying to play in Ericsson. It's a nice little reverse ball, but Murphy again, seeing the danger, and manages to get himself very narrow there and comes round the back and clears to Pope, who again goes long, just clears his lines, which seems to be the order of the day from Newcastle now, not take any chances. Come on, pick that ball up here. We got it again. Not seeing much of our midfield, and like I say, there's lots of movement from both teams, but both teams are really struggling to find the passing when it comes to that being half pressed. To be fair, even trying to keep their feet. There have been lots of slips from both sides. So again, it's not been a great first 20 minutes. Good ball down the sidelines there for Isaac, but Hamas does a good sliding tackle. Nobody with Isaac there at the time, so he was just trying to slow things down and asking for the challenge, which he got quite nicely. So it's a Newcastle throw-in now, deep down that right-hand side. Isaac leaves the ball and just says, you know what? Come on, give it to me large. And picture of Luke Shaw. Is his days numbered now at Man U? As he's lost his position, he's just coming back from another injury-prone player. Again, he's been at Man U for some time now, but doesn't seem to figure these days due to injuries. J7 now. Dan Burn. Again, not the best control of a ball I've seen. Player has to go all the way back to Pope. Shaw goes long, diagonal, trying to pick out Harvey Barnes. Delo heads it clear. Tino now picks the ball up, plays a little simple ball into Barnes. Barnes in the inside right position, plays it to J7. Bruno now, middle of the park, sees the run from Trippier. Trippier's trying to keep the ball in play, but it's gone out for a goal kick again. Trippier's just saying he wanted it lofted rather than driven. And again, it's just that eagerness to get the ball in behind to try and get in there. And it's a shame. It just hasn't, that final ball just hasn't come off yet. And again, it seems to me it's like a bit hurried, a bit rushed at times. Long kick again from Bayandor, met by the head of Burn. Comes up to Isaac. Murphy. Few players in front of Murphy now. him and Trippier down this right-hand side, just looking for the overlap. He decides to come inside to Bruno. Bruno stabs it into the penalty area. Headed chance from Isak, glanced header. Unfortunately, just didn't get enough on it. It was always going wide. And Bayandor just sees it round the corner of the post. It looks like he was onside as well. So we've got semi-automated offsides as well today. So shouldn't take that long to get a decision. You know, the shape of the ball from the header was always going away. Bruno's playing really, really high today from that midfield, really attacking the space that Manchester United are allowing us to have. Tino down this left-hand side now, tries to dink it in, but again, numbers down our left there, right-hand side, which is obviously what they've decided. Amrim's looked at, and he's decided to put that extra player there now. We're finding it really difficult. But we seem to be getting a little bit of joy down the right-hand side, which at this present moment in time, we haven't. There's a chance here. Shot! Goal! Tonali! Get in! Lovely ball into the box, as daft it looks. And it was just a little delicate touch inside. And Tonali's round the corner. Everybody's static. All the United players are just static and watch the ball. I'm just having a quick look. Murphy takes the ball down that right-hand side. And I kept on saying, they're blocking the left-hand channel, but they seem to be allowing us more time down that right-hand side to develop the ball. Murphy just then brings the ball into Bruno. Bruno's got all the time in the world to try and make something of it. I'm just watching the previous replay of Isak's opportunity. And tonight, I'm just having a look again. So they try and play it through the middle, and it's a strange ball out from Ugarte, and then it's picked up by Trippier, who just stabs the ball into Isak. Isak just lofts the ball over Yoro into the path of Tonali, who just runs onto it and smashes it into the corner on the volley. What a goal. Again, Tonali special. You've got to say it. Controlled volley. Yes, it's only 7 yards out, but you've still got to hit the ball. It's not wide, but he's got to go across the keeper, and he hits it so true, so clean, and it's directly into the corner. Not a chance for the new lad, Bayandor, to be fair. Great goal. Come on, the lads. Come on. 24-minute goal. I'll have that all day, every day. Just got to keep it tight now. But again, it's been scrappy. It's been very bitty. They've tried to block us off down our left side. They've tried to put more bodies there, but they are leaving themselves open, like I say, on that right-hand side if we move the ball quick. Yoro now nearly loses it to Bruno, like I say, who's played really high. The ball has come back to Newcastle, again, from that to Tino into the centre circle. J7 and Tonali getting in each other's way a little bit. Plays it out to Trippier. Trippier now runs... Got lots of green space down that right-hand side. Like I say, it's 2-on-2, not other time. Bruno plays it into Murphy. Murphy into the box. Murphy stands it up, but he gets blocked by Amas that time. And again, got lots of time to have another go. Murphy tries a cheeky little dink to the edge of the box, but was seen by Ericsson. And it's tried to be played out up to Xerxes. Xerxes plays a quick ball out to Dalot on this right-hand side. Stood up by Tino, that. Back to Mazraoui, Tino. Not a lot of movement, to be fair. Man U seem to have gone very narrow. Fernandez is screaming his head out at somebody because, like I say, there's just very little movement of Man U up top. I don't know where. Looks like Fernandez and, which is what I expected, Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho has swapped over now. Garnacho's gone more to his favoured left-hand side. Bruno now on that right-hand side. Again, doesn't seem to be getting much value for money there. And like I say, once it passes the likes of Garnacho, it's gone. And that is Man U all over. Once it passes them front three, there's no work. The work ethics have gone. I don't want to come back, and that's where they become dangerous because, like I say, they become parts. And if you lose the ball in the final third and it gets cleared long, they're in behind you. And yet, to be fair, the half opportunities that Newcastle have, they haven't been great at. apart from, like I say, the finish which was outstanding. So it's a free kick to Newcastle. Newcastle tried to play the ball into Isak on the run. But again, Bruno Fernandes is talking. He's saying, come on, lads, give me something to work with. It's a corner to Newcastle. 27 minutes gone, and it's Newcastle 1, Man U 0, and it's 1 corners all at the minute. But again, Manchester United look absolutely awful, to be fair. They look well, like I say, they're all over the place at the back. Dan Burn having a right laugh with Dalot. I think Dalot needs stilts to actually get anywhere near Burn. The ball's gone short. We're on that pendulum again. It's out to Tonali. Tonali's got a bit of grass to run into. Tries a shot from distance into the corner. Oh, just wide of the post from Tonali on that far post. Again, you give this lad that amount of space on the edge of your box. Not one player in a red shirt closes that down. And that ball is getting shaped into that corner. Just didn't come back enough. Keeper wouldn't have had a chance of that one. Again, that's what I said. You give to Tonali, you feed the horse, he'll score, mate. Absolutely. Goal kick. Again, Man U just want to clear the lines, but up to Xerxes, and it's beaten again from Fabian Schär, who seems to be winning those one-on-one. Eriksen loses out in the midfield, out to Bruno now on the halfway line. Bruno just stabs it out to Trippier. Seems to be having a lot more. Oh, that's a bit rushed up from Tonali and giving the ball back to Ugarte. Again, it's one downside I can say against Newcastle is that rushed ball forward to try and get in behind Man U. And, like I said, that is the frustrating part for me. Really good work from Harvey Barnes there to try and stop the play. But again, it's just, it's just that unselfish running to try and put press on the ball. Tonali and Tino just win that ball back there, but it's gone out for a... Is it a Newcastle? Yeah, as I say, it's a Newcastle throw because it was just press on again. Garnacho doesn't look interested. His body language. One ball through the middle here, and we threw it behind them. We threw the block. A couple of deflections. It does come through to Murphy. Murphy's got a chance with Trippier. Trippier on the outside. Just looking to give the ball inside to Bruno. Bruno now. 4 bodies round him at the time. Back to Trippier. Trippier tries to give Murphy a chance to run in behind. Block this time. And Ugarte brings the ball out to Eriksen. Everything's a bit rushed. Everything's close to United. And Bruno Fernandes gets a clobber through the back end by Bruno. And again, he's like saying, you know what? I am not having this. So the referee allows the other Bruno the opportunity to have a smile, pick him up, and get on with the game. 30 minutes in. Bruno's getting frustrated in that centre circle. He's asking for we went a bit flat there, if I'm honest with you. You talk about the passing lanes. We all went player for player, and Bruno Fernandes was cleared in the middle of the park in that centre circle. And he just wasn't spotted, or they decided not to. Here we go here. We've got a chance but of them breaking away, and it's Dalot down to Garnacho. Garnacho plays it into the middle. I thought it was going to fall for Xerxes. Murphy now on the edge of the box. He's looking for an outlet. He plays it into the channels, and it's out for a throw into Newcastle. He took his time. I thought there was a little deflection on that ball, and it was going to fall lovely for Xerxes. He was just sat at the back post. The pass, the Garnacho had gone, and then he tried to play it back to Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes got a little toe on it that squirmed it towards Xerxes, and it had bypassed a couple of the black and white shirts. And I thought it's going to fall directly for him. It's just their luck. But luckily for us, it didn't. Throw in took early now. It's J7 out to T now. Now up to Barnes. Harvey Barnes has got a bit of grass on this left-hand side, running into the box. Not really got his... he didn't get his balance there, Harvey Barnes. He didn't know whether to come inside or go left-hand side. And he went to drop his shoulder, and it seemed to stagger his footing a little bit. And then he had a bit of an heavy touch, and it went all the way through to the United keeper. So Bayandor, again, seems a bit dodgy with his feet, this lad. Not a great ball out again through the centre. Dan Burn picks it up easy. J7 helps it on to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes now on the edge of the box. Got Tino for help if he gives it to him. Again, it's too tight for me, these passes between Harvey Barnes and Tino. They get too close together, and then when the ball gets passed with the 5-yard zone, it's easy for the other United, Man U, to close it down. So I think we need to be quicker on that ball, or don't play it. Play it inside. Go to another player. We're causing ourselves so much more problems by rushing that ball in this high left-hand side than we need to. Eriksen now. Lindelof again. United at this back three again with a new keeper, a new centre back in the middle of this three. Lindelof doesn't tear up any trees whatsoever. We won the ball back here easily again. Murphy doing really well on that right hand side. J7 just turning, and he's like a blooming big cartorse. Bruno now on the edge of the box, plays it out to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes has got Tino. He gives it to Tino on the overlap. Tino goes to the back stick. Well, it's saved. Really good save, to be fair, from keeper. It's squared back to Harvey Barnes, and it's cleared from Man U. But again, it's going to be pressed from Newcastle. Ball from Shaw up to Murphy. Murphy inside to Tonali. Tonali gives it to Trippier. Trippier now on that right-hand touchline. Tonali back again, just calming everything down. Fabian Shaw to Bruno. Bruno wants to get on with it. Our Bruno, not theirs, by the way. J7 plays it inside to Isak. Isak turns. Tonali now on the edge of the box. Gives it to Isak. Isak goes onto the ball. He just goes a little bit wide. He digs it to the back stick. It's all over the shot from Man U. And they luckily, again, everybody had come to the near post. Nobody had gambled on that back post, and it would have been a simple tap in. It's scrambled out for a corner to Newcastle. Man U were bloody awful. I mean, really bloody awful. But it was a good save from Isak's first one. I mean, unfortunately, Isak did hit it directly at him. So it was palmed out to right in Isak's path. Isak then volleyed it back in the instep volley. And it's just scramble. They look all over the place, Man U. Corner now to Newcastle. Floats towards that back stick. J7 gets up there, but again, doesn't really get much of the ball. It's fell to Harvey Barnes, though. Harvey Barnes turns, dinks it to the back stick. And I thought he was in by the big Burn himself. He gets his head onto it, and he floats it just beyond the bar, and it just goes over. Again, lovely little cross, but I think he was offside anyway on this automated system. So it wouldn't have counted. Who needs VAR when you've got the Geordie Yam Yam, eh? 200th career Premier League appearance for Dan Burn. That's obviously including his Brighton and everybody that he's played for. For any young ones out there, he is the role model. Oh, that's a bit of a dodgy header, though, from Dan Burn. It went backwards rather than forwards. Again, Ugarte loses his footing, gets a nice wrap on the side of the ankle. Oh, luckily for Bruno there, it went to Trippier and Murphy. Again, having lots of good times down this right-hand side. Oh, Murphy, look up, lad. Gives it straight to Eriksen, who plays the ball long. And again, it's just easy for for Tino and Dan Burn to deal with, because Garnacho's not interested. Xerxes doesn't seem interested when it comes to him, apart from when he's in front of goal. It's the only time he comes alive. And we all know Bruno Fernandes isn't interested unless he's got the ball. Murphy now into the box, trying to feed Isak. Ball comes out to Yoro. Yoro now to Lindelof, who's trying to play a little footsie work. And again, no press from the Newcastle players. They're just wanting him to go long. Tonali now. Tonali goes up and over. J7 having a little bit of with Ugarte. Ugarte comes inside. He just holds the ball up. Dalot now with a bit of a run. Got a bit of space in front of him. We've got to decide whether to go. It's Garnacho. He dinks it into the back stick, and it's in off the back post, and it's 1-1 to Man U. And again, silly little breakaway, if I'm honest with you. There is no need for us to have got hit on the break there. No need. And it was just a simple little bit of pace, running into space. And because we are backing off, it's a case of nobody's closing down Dalot. Dalot then's got an easier option just to roll it into Garnacho, because we've gone so deep there. And again, you look at where he's run from. Halfway into his own half, he just turns, gives the ball onto the halfway line, and he runs. And we're all literally there. And he draws Dan Burn, who was obviously playing that left-hand side because of Tino running forward. And it's exactly what I said during the build-up. If you allow them to run in behind you, there's an opportunity. And to be fair, all he does is toe poke it towards goal, and he gets it on target. And you couldn't have literally put that any further away from Pope. And it was the shape of the ball angling. It was always going to go in if it hit the post because of the way the shape of the ball was. But it didn't need to happen. And that was what I was worried about. Dan Burn stays out here, then somebody else has to close that space. One of the midfielders or somebody. And that's what worries me with Newcastle when we go on that left-hand side. Because sometimes when they get that break, we are left for dead, if I'm honest with you. Murphy now down that right-hand side. See if we can redeem something. Jinx it up again. It's a corner kick to Newcastle. Really disappointed goal to concede, mate, to be fair. I was so disappointed with that. Yeah, I mean, what can we say? Corner in towards the keeper. The keeper flaps at it, comes to J7. It's deflected, comes to Tonali, who plays it back to Tino. J7's got literally the room of Newcastle. I don't know what he tried to play there, but obviously he didn't come off. Tried to play a ball with the outside of his foot. It was awful. Fabian Schär literally high up the field. And this time it's going to be a corner kick again to Newcastle because Man U were just dallying around with that ball. Again, Hamas thinks he's got all the time in the world, but he's never going to get the time in the Premier League, especially against Newcastle at home. A corner to Newcastle now. Brant saying it was garbage from us. Ball all the way to Isak, who has the volley, and again the block on with that volley. Isak again, back post now. There's a couple of bodies up there, all closing down that 6-yard box. Ball comes all the way to Tino, who headers it back towards the Man U penalty area, and it comes off Big Dan Burn and out for a throw-in. Yeah, I agree with you. Been a bit rushed, but he's not been the only one, Tiger, to be fair. We've had a few of them and haven't been great. Craven's thinking we should be 3 or 4 up. Yeah, before that goal, I totally agree with you, but been very sloppy at times, Newcastle, with some of their final third decisions, and that's all I'm going to say. But again, when you look at, positioning there of, you've got Trippier, you've got Shaw, who's doing what job here? Because once you pull Dan Burn out from that left-hand side, Tino's never going to get there. So, again, is that poor decision-making? Should one of our two gone to that ball? Yes, there was a chance then of Xerxes being free, but we were too narrow with the two lads and we left too much space on that right-hand side for them to attack. So, again, it didn't need to happen. Ball now up to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes with a bit of a foot race with Ugarte. Again, Ugarte's on a yellow card. Oh, it's not. It's Lindelof. Apologies. It was Lindelof that time. I'm surprised Newcastle haven't got... well, there's been no challenges really of any note from Newcastle. But we all know that this referee seems to be a little bit card happy against us. J7 tries to do a little bit of a back flick, but it comes off Dallow for another corner for Newcastle. Natalie Reeve, away the lads. Yeah, indeed. Colton's, we will up our game soon. Well, it needs to happen. Like I say, we've dominated. I'm not saying we haven't dominated, but I don't think we've had the right decisions at times. Trippier now with an in-swinging cross. There's a right tangle between Hamas and Fabian Schär there. And I'm sorry, but the referees have got to start looking at this, because he's just got him round the midriff. You know what I mean? Yes, the ball's not in play, but come on. Again, we're having a little bit of a tussle between Hamas and Shah. I mean, Shah's asking the referees, keeping. I mean, Yoro's just pushed him over. Now, I'm sorry, if that's not a penalty, I don't know what is. That's got to be a penalty. Yoro's got a yellow card. Now, if he's given a yellow card, oh, mind, it can't be a penalty, can it? Because the ball's not in play. Sorry, it's my fault. I'm getting a bit excited. But I mean, that is shocking from Yoro. That is poor. Waiting for this corner kick. The referee's keeping a real close eye on what's happening between Shah and Hamas. Ball goes to the back stick. Headed again. I think I could see what Bruno was trying to do. Bruno had, again, all the time in the world just to float that ball, that headed ball, to the back stick to the danger zone where we got a couple of players overloads there. He went for goal and he was nowhere near, to be fair. I mean, I don't get me wrong. You can see Man U have tried to spoil this left-hand attacking, but Harvey Barnes and Tino effort, and they've done that. And again, the biggest problem for me was always when Tino comes forward, are we leaving too much space for Garnacho to exploit down that right-hand side? But everywhere else in the park, we've moved the ball really well on that right-hand side when we needed to, and we've exploited their right-hand side to try and move them across a little bit. So I'm really, I'm not disputing that we've not dominated the game to a degree. I just think sometimes some of our final decisions haven't been great, and some of our final balls haven't been great. Newcastle decide to go long, hunting for Isak. Lindelof allows the ball to go past him. A little bit of a slip from Lindelof that time, and Isak, unfortunately, would run on from that ball. Ashington, we should have had 3, and at least they should let Garnacho through to Isak. Yeah, exactly, mate. Man U have got a chance again here. Going on the left-hand side, they played the ball centrally. There's a chance it's shot across goal. I'm not sure who was that from. Is that... it comes all the way to Dalot. Mazraoui now. Bruno Fernandes, just literally looking up and trying to find a player to work with. Ugarte, all on the edge of the box. Ugarte drops his shoulder, and he's blocked by Harvey Barnes, and it's a Man U. We've just literally gone off the ball a little bit there, allowing Man U in behind us on that right-hand side. And it was a snapshot from Garnacho again into that far post, which again was well dealt with by Popey. Two minutes of stoppage time, 45th minute now, or 46 minutes. So Dalot goes for the long throw into the penalty box. And again, headed clear from Fabian Schär. Really old school, isn't it? This long throws into the box. Don't see that very often these days, apart from the odd team. Dalot, long throw into the box again. Big Dan Burn with the headed clearance towards the end of the box. And again, Murphy there just to help it on its way. Eriksson feeds it all the way back to Mazraoui and Man U off. Bayandor now goes long. Again, not had much success this time. And Big Dan Burn, again, coming over from that left centre in the way of Tino to try and get on the end of that. But again, just glances the head out to another throw into Man U. Again, just in line with our penalty spot. So again, you know which way they're going to go. They're going to look for that long throw in again. Tiger Stew goes, and we got Tiger Fire, 21-21. Long throw in from Dalot into the arms of Popey, and it's gone through the back of Fabian Schär a little bit there. Popey with a throw out to Trippier, who sees him down that line. Again, tries to give Murphy, who starts his run, and then tries to be a little bit too clever for me and put his foot on the ball and come back. And the ball, unfortunately, goes all the way through to their keeper. Half time. 1-1 now. Murphy needs to come off, according to Studios. Downhill towards the Gallagher in the second half. We should get 2 or 3 after the break. Let's figure that out. Let's see how we go. Newcastle's with the current point at the minute, but it's not good enough, guys. Not for me anyway. I don't know how you guys feel, but that first half just wasn't good enough. We had like fits and spells of looking really, really good, really getting in, into the back of Man U, and they struggle like mad at the back. Like I say, the 3 come together, too close at times. But we've been disappointed in that final third, if I'm honest with you, with some of the results. So here we go. Right then. We've got Brant in with us. So Brant, how are you, mate? How do you feel? Gifted membership from Random. Thank you, buddy. That's gone to Frieden81, or it's Frieden, whichever way you want to say it. So welcome along. You are now an NTTV Plus member. That gives you full access to everything. I mean, it's what we were saying, isn't it, in the preview? Can you add yourself to the screen, Brad? Because if I add you, there you go. Brilliant. Because if I add you, you go on above everything. I mean, it's exactly what we said, though, wasn't it? We've got to be careful when we overload that left-hand side. If you push Tino on too much, you've got an option or an opportunity for them to run in behind, which seemed to have happened quite easily at times. So, it was something that was on the cards. You knew it was there, get out of jail. But to me, it was too easy. And then what you get, because nobody made... again, you have to question some of our midfielders. If who's holding midfield, if 3 of them are going forward. For me, you're pulling a player who's obviously been asked to do a job on that left-hand side if Tino goes forward. You're asking him to cover the same ground, and then where he's come from, the ball gets played into. And for me, it should be Fabian Schär, who's the central one. Should have come out and closed that space down, because you had Trippier to the left of him, or to the right, whichever way you look at it, and obviously Dan Burn, who was filling that slot. By doing that, then the pass has to be accurate to get to either player, because you've got man to man. But by giving Dan Burn the option to come out to him, the option had gone. It's just a simple pass out to Garnacho. So very disappointing, if I'm honest with you. And like I say, it was one of those areas that we highlighted at the start. No, I don't like that. It was, like I say, it was just too easy.
Yeah. I just think the way we're playing is, it seemed like we just wanted to come out and put a bunch of goals in the back of the net. But that did open us up for those opportunities. And when you give team, Man United, say what you want, they do have some decent players still. Any team in the Premier League, a chance like that, there's a good chance they're going to put it by. So, I like the attitude of the guys. I think that we're pressing and we're pushing them around. I mean, it really reminded me of the Liverpool game in the Cup, but the problem is we're not clinical enough. Bruno hasn't held onto the ball well. I think J7 and obviously Tonali hasn't been bad, but some of the crosses, some of the free kicks, just not good enough.
It's been that's what I said. It's been really dodgy. It's been bitty, hasn't it? You know, you look at the final ball from some of our set pieces have been, overhit.
Big time.
And it's like a get out of jail free card, isn't it? You know what I mean? You put all the pressure. They give you the opportunity to throw the ball into the half space, and then you do nothing with it. And it's like, there you go. There's another half chance that we could have had gone out the door.
The other thing you
mate.
mentioned as well is Tino and Barnes seem to be getting their wires crossed a lot so far. They're like right on top of each other. The left hasn't done as much as we would hope and what we normally see. We normally see the left pretty smooth and doing a good job. Now, I think Tino had a really nice cross there where we had an opportunity.
Across the 6-yard box as well, wasn't it? From Harvey Barnes was a good one.
Something that I've noticed all season is, for whatever reason, we never have anybody going far post. There's never anybody far post, and there's been so many missed opportunities. If I could somehow go through the season and look at all the far post crosses, you probably have 8 to 10 opportunities where nobody's there, but if somebody was there, it was a perfect cross, perfect. It would have created a perfect opportunity. But guys like to go to the ball rather than away, and that's just what seems to be happening with us. Like I say, I like our attitude. We've really gotten into their chest. We should be leading. The goal is unfortunate. Kind of reminds me of the Brighton game a little bit right now, which is not what we want to hear.
Not what we want to hear, exactly.
The Palace game, the first Palace game where we did better, Everton as well. Let's see what happens second half. Maybe I almost, if I'm Tyndall, this isn't a knock on Barnes. I might bring in Gordon, because on the left right there, it seems like, to me, Gordon's a little bit better when defenders are pressed up against him. And Barnes needs a little bit more space. I'd like to see Gordon on the left second half to see what he can do against the really pressing defense that they're doing. They're really trying to get on your backside.
Yeah, I do agree with you, but the player that's been very non-existent for me has been Murphy.
Yeah,
we've had times where the three players that I've seen up top has been very much Barnes. We've gone to like a 4-3-3. You get Murphy, so you've left Tonali and J7 in the middle, in more of a central position. So we've gone more of again, very defensive, because Tino goes down the left-hand side. You get this movement of the three lads at the back then go in a loop. So Murphy becomes that half man. He doesn't know whether to go down and attack. But then you get Bruno's being the most attacking midfielder going down that right-hand side. And for me, the shape has been lost to a degree by doing that. And I do think it's certainly something. I mean, I don't think you'll see a change at this present moment in time. But I do think at this present, from what I can see so far, Murphy looks a little bit lost for me. I'm just going to bring my screen in, if I may, just 2 seconds, just so I can explain what I mean a little bit more. Just going to go, 2 seconds. There you go. Bring that across. Now, I've set it up as we've attacked, right? So you've got Dallo, who, if he goes on a run, like I said, these guys come across, and we've had no joy whatsoever. The only time we've had is Ugarte, who picked up the yellow card, who's backed up into this area. What I've seen at the moment is a lot of this being outnumbered 3-2 with Ugarte sitting in the half space. Dallo, obviously, and like you say, these two have been too close for me. If he wants to go down the line, let him go. Because you're going to pull players deep, and the deeper they come, the more space it gives you. And when you get into this situation, for me, Murphy, a lot of the time, because of the runs of Bruno into these areas, I think that is sometimes stopping Murphy from transitioning into this area here. And I think if Bruno stays a little deeper, one, it gives us a bit more cover if the ball comes out, but it allows Trippier then to utilise the space. And if he drops in, some of these guys have to gamble then. And as you saw, there was a number of times where Fernandez, once the ball comes past them, Garnacho, once the ball goes past them, they're not interested. You know what I mean? They ain't interested in defending whatsoever. They'll leave it up to these guys to defend. But it's the opportunities that we're getting. You know, like you said, couple of balls. Let me just put my tools on. Just hold.
Yeah, I think it's also trapped Murphy a little bit as well. Murphy likes to come up the side and make those low crosses, and I think Manchester United have done a good job of closing in on that with two guys, and it might be because Bruno's runs as well, and they're just absolutely doing everything they can to cut out that Isak Murphy relationship. I think they've done a good job on that too.
I think some of Murphy's decision making, though, mate, to be fair, has been really poor because he's been pulling the ball back into this zone, you know, into here, rather than, you know, any movement here. Then, sorry, it's not Tino, it's been Harvey Barnes. We're a bit static on this back post.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'd like to see more movement here rather than wanting the ball into what I call the 12 to 18 yard mark, where everybody wants to pick it up. And we have had, you know, how much space when Tonali's shot just round the, you know, we're just wide of the post. We've had loads of space to walk into in this zone because Man U do go really deep at times when they're trying to cover. But again, for me, they've just not made the right decision in the final third, especially attacking that back post. And I think Mad Dog will need to address one or two things at half time to either get the balls into the right areas, make the right decision. I mean, the person who's had nothing from that first half and yet has put two really good balls into position has been Alexander Isak. Yeah. Isak has floated the ball into that back post again, danger area, nobody gambling. You know, these are the areas that Murphy you expect to get on the end of because he's been ghosted in that back post literally the entire season. The biggest problem is he can't be asked to do two jobs. And if he's asked to sit in to allow Bruno to get up here, then, you know, it's not working because nobody's attacking that back stick at all. And again, you know, the opportunity right at the end there where Bruno had the opportunity to header the ball back this way into the danger zone. He goes over the bar, you know, and again, it's making the right decision with the choices. You're very rarely going to score from these tight angles, but if you put it back into this area, you've got every opportunity for somebody else to do that for you. So for me, it's sorry, mate, go on.
No, I think thinking about it, maybe slowing down just a hair. You know, one of the things that we talked about pre-match was sometimes we go too slow. And this one, it seems like maybe we're sped up a little bit, and that's why some of the final balls aren't good. So if we can just slow down just a hair, that might be better. Plus, it might keep us from giving up these counters that they've been able to get on us. So,
yeah,
I still like our chances second half. If we continue to get in the same positions and have the same opportunities we did the first half, we should win this game. But we just can't let them we can't let them have another, you know, fast break like the one with that Garnacho scored on. It's just too easy. You know, we got to at least make it difficult on them. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's a strange one because, like I say, there's every opportunity and every possibility that we could have had and should have had 3 or 4 goals that first half.
Yeah,
we should have been out of reach now. You know, it should be a case of just getting in behind the ball, keeping your shape, and utilising the space that Man U will have to give you then to try and get back in the game. And that's been the disappointment for me. It's been a fact that we've got them now back in the game, and we've literally gifted them that opportunity. Not the fact that they've really worked for it, because Man U have been bloody awful, if I'm honest with you.
No, they haven't been good, especially at the back.
No, they looked all over the place. Even, you know, through midfield. Again, you look at the way they've played, you know, and Nagate picking up that yellow card, and Yoro picking up that yellow card. I mean, that to me, it certainly deserved something more than just the yellow card when he come and puts Fabian Schär in the chest, because it was in the shoulder, I should say. But I mean, Tiger saying I would need Gordon to come on in 60 minutes, keep Barn on as well. I think if I was looking at anything, I'd probably move Harvey Barnes over to that right-hand side and drop Murphy. and just ask them to keep the shape and say, I don't want you dropping too deep, and I certainly don't want you going too high. The lads are just coming back onto the field now, so I'll bid you farewell.
All right.
If you just remove yourself from screen, because then it saves me rather than just saying goodbye, and then you can get gone. And also, are you coming on afterwards? Because we're going straight to the post match. You can come on there, I suppose.
Probably not. I don't think I'll be able to. But
all right, buddy. No worries.
So I removed myself.
Thanks for your input. You can just see it on the side there. Yeah. See you later, my friend. Take care.
Bye bye.
And Newcastle kick off again for this second half. Just allowing themselves, hopefully, time to get back into this. Ball goes down the right-hand side. And I can see for a throw-in straight away to Newcastle. So it's, again, it's a sloppy start from Man U. Just going to change the screen again while I've got the opportunity. A little bit of play going on now, and ball into the box onto that far-hand side, that left-hand side again, where we seem to be struggling. It seems to be still the way we go, and the ball comes all the way back to Dan Burn. Out to Trippier on this right-hand side, up to Murphy. No changes at half-time for either side by the looks of it. Trippier into Murphy again. Murphy just trying to hold off Eriksen, and again plays this ball over the top from Trippier for the likes of Bruno to run onto, but it's not really to anybody. It's over the top of Bruno. Isak's in a different position, and it's just giving the ball straight back to Man U. Long clearance from keeper again, and picked up easily from Burn. A little bit of head tennis from Trippier. Again, everything's a bit too tight for me in that area. Bruno trying to head the ball onto Isak, who's just staying more central. Obviously, this has been the tactic to try and separate their three. Headed ball, Tonali into J7, who's got a bit of space. He tries to play a cute ball into Isak, but it was behind him. Again, had the opportunity. Ooh, here we go. Xerxes now has got some grass to run into. There's a slip in the halfway line. Dallow's come over to this left-hand side. He's gone over in the penalty area, looking for a penalty. You cheating bastard. Again, Tonali trying to get Bruno in, but it was a bad ball. And it's picked up easily. And there's a shot on goal, but it's over. That's young Hamas in the final third there, having a bit of a go. Tonali's now undoing his boots. I mean, honest to God, that Dallow drop in the penalty area. It was just. He should have a yellow card. Tonali lost his boot and half his socks. It's really strange now watching these ankle socks. Then you have the actual club socks that's been cut. The ankles have been cut off them. Looks really weird. Tonali just grimacing there a little bit. A bit of a wrap on the ankle. Fabian Schär goes long. J7 heads it on. Out to Bruno. Bruno out to Tino. Tino now with a little bit of space to run. He jinks past one. Crosses the ball into the back stick. Murphy into the... Yeah, Harvey Barnes! Get in! There you go. I mean, it's simple. Attack that bloody space. And it is it again. Ball to the back stick. They attack the back stick for the first time this bloody match. Gets pulled back into the danger zone. And it's open goal for Harvey Barnes to get. Get in! Come on! There's only one United. Come on. Love it. Let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat. Thank God. Deserved. Come on, Murphy. Well done. Yeah, Tiger. So that's what I said. As soon as you say, isn't it? We're really bad. It's like the commentator's curse. 49th minute, guys. 2-1 to Newcastle. And again, really good approach. This is the first time we've had a little bit of space. Really nice play from Tino. It's bloody trip. I've got so many T's in my head. Tino goes dancing down the left-hand side, fires a ball past the goal, in between, again in that half space between keeper and his back line. Nobody's willing to come. Really good pace on the ball. And Murphy can't get a shot on goal because he's so narrow, plays the perfect ball back in. And it's just about getting the play. Again, it's making that right decisions. Superb. 2-1 to Newcastle. Mighty Mag, don't throw it away. Again, yeah, exactly, mate. We can't. Ivan Lee, get in, he says. Thanks for Ivan. Just having a quick look at anybody else in the chat just before that. With some issues with this, so again, apologies. Great job. Brilliant from Murphy. Yeah, well done, 2 nuts. That's what I said. Sometimes we're up to 4th now, you see. Just that one extra goal just gives you that little bit more momentum going forward, doesn't it? But again, we have to be very careful. There was a slip from Fabian Schär, which allowed Xerxes come in, and Dallo was doing when he got a little nudge from Tonali. That was awful, to be fair, on the previous part of that. So half-eye line, and it's a throw into Newcastle. J7 into Isak. Not seen much of Isak in this game, to be fair. Still winning, though, and that'll do me. A little bit of a mistake there from Tino again. It's allowed a little play down that right-hand side for Manu. Manu tried to get into the box hard and low, but Tonali clears. Lindelof now. Ugarte. Little reverse ball into Xerxes. And Xerxes just, again, trying to be too clever for his own good. Instead of just putting his foot on it, tries a little inside back heel, hoping that somebody's going to run behind him, but he was never going to get to anybody. Murphy now plays it to Bruno. Tonali. Bruno looks to go long. Crossfield pass to Harvey Barnes, controlled really well by Harvey Barnes. Got a bit of space to run into. Attacking Mazraoui into that box. Mazraoui stands up though and he gets a tackle on. Comes to J7. J7 sees Tonali, edge of the box, plays a ball out to him. Bruno now. Bruno plays it into Murphy, who's come more central. Lost the ball that time. Bit of a deflection. Trippier and I mean, it's just a foot race now. Xerxes on his own. There's nobody else. He's beaten 2-3 players now, going across from left to right hand side, but his hamstring's just gone. Xerxes' hamstring's just been twanged, and that's the end of Xerxes. And that's exactly what Amorim would have wanted, wouldn't it? For coming up into the European Cup, and Højlund is being pulled back straight away to come on. So you could just see, I mean, it was a bit of a mazy run, inside left position to inside right position. And again, not spearheading his way. He got a couple of lucky deflections and he was just going further and further wider. And then, like I say, he just runs to a stop. And you can tell as soon as he puts his hand to the back of his thigh that his hamstring's just snapped. A few changes coming forward now. It looks like Man U are going to bring on definitely Højlund up top. Also looked like Mason Mount was being readied. So it's going to be a bit of a change for them. So Xerxes definitely coming off for Højlund, so I can change that down here. All the Man U players giving him a bit of love. He's certainly snapped that by the looks of it. He's not grimacing a little bit as he leaves the field of play. But again, he was going nowhere. It was really weird. Not sure what United are going to do with these 3 players that are coming on. Mason Mount's definitely coming on, more of attacking, and it looks, is that Mainu? Or is that that lad who's going to come off his Amas, and Dog who's going to come on by the looks of it? and Mason Mount in midfield. So it'll be interesting to see whether they change shape now, United. Well, Garnacho's come off. So they're definitely going, it looks like they're going to go more of a forward in midfield. Hamas is off. There's Doku. Interesting to see how they play, but it's going to be. I was surprised to see Garnacho come off, unless he's obviously it's risk versus reward now, isn't it, for them in the European competition on Thursday. So Doku was going to come into this left wing back position. Mason Mount will obviously go into midfield as more of an attacking. So Bruno Fernandes potentially will go into the 10 slot, I would have thought. Bruno Fernandes on the halfway line on this left-hand side now, plays the ball into Highland, first touch, up to Ericsson, but Ericsson first touch was poor. It's cleared by Newcastle to the halfway line, onto Yoro again for Man U. Ugarte. Newcastle just again trying to get that shape of the 5-4-1, because Murphy's now gone into more of a right back position, allowing Trippier to play more of a outside right position or right centre back. But it's allowing Man U just to play football around us, to be fair. And as I said, I think sometimes we asked a little bit too much of Murphy. He does a great job, like I say, but then when he goes up front, you've still got that defensive mind on. Sometimes it's difficult as a player to switch from being a defender to an attacker. And that's why I said sometimes you've just got to allow him to play. Ball switched for Doku to run on, but Murphy again in this right back position gets there before him. Pope to Trippier centrally. Doku just trying to get back again. Trippier being the statesman he is, the experienced player, just waiting for the little tug on the shirt, and down he goes. A free kick to Newcastle. Fabian Sharp. Just waiting for some movement. Trippier's shouting to somebody get out on that left-hand side. Ball's drilled across to that left side. J7 up with the winning header. Ball falls to Lindelof there, just deciding which way to go. Bruno again intercepts that ball, which is half-heartedly given. Murphy now. Chance to put Tonali in. Little flick over the top. And Doku manages to save it from a corner, and it's out for a throw-in to Newcastle. Again, dead simple to get in behind them. It was just it was a little floaty little ball. Murphy now plays it out to Bruno. Bruno in the inside right position, looking for some movement. Sees Murphy. Murphy again, trying to dance his way around, but this time it is definitely a corner to Newcastle, off Doku. Really strange situation for Newcastle, I suppose, because it's one of those scenarios where you want to win, but you don't want to risk, because obviously we've got another big game coming up on Wednesday. Corner then. Trippier again. So hopefully this one's a little bit better. Goes low this time. Isaac. Oh, jeez. There's a little give and go with Trippier, who gets a clash of the knees, and it's not a free kick, but Man U now have got an opportunity, but they waste it. Tino, well done, son. Brings it down, pulls the ball out, and Isaac. Trippier gets a right whack across the knees there, and he's down, and he stayed down. Like I say, it wasn't intentional. It was just a coming together of Bruno Fernandes and Trippier. Like I say, the break was on there. He's up and running. Just like I say, a little bit sore when you bang your knees together. I think it was just above the knee, so it's like you get that dead leg, don't you? Doku to Bruno Fernandes. He gives it back to Doku. Lindelof now plays the ball up to Highland. Mount just tries to dink the ball over, but Fabian Schär's been pulled up there for a foul on Mount, and he's laughing at Mount because he's saying, "Didn't even bloody touch you, mate." But like I say, Mount screwed the ball up when he tried to pass the ball, but they're very clever enough just to stumble, and it looked like Fabian Schär had just clipped him. But anyway, United get on with it. Euro. Bruno Fernandes on this left-hand side now tries to play the ball down to Doku, who's playing a little bit more advanced role down that left-hand side. Just coming up to 60 minutes for anybody that's interested. 60 minutes bang on now. Newcastle throwing. Casemiro going out to get warmed up now. Oh, in actual fact, they've given a free kick to Newcastle on the halfway line. Out on this right-hand side, again, opportunity for Trippier to get one into the edge of the penalty spot. High line from Man U. Ball goes in towards Byrne, who tries to glance the ball into Isak. Isak gets hold of it. Didn't get an opportunity, really. Scuff shot from Harvey Barnes. It wasn't Harvey Barnes. Who was that? Oh, it was Fabian Schär on the back stick. Trippier now. Into Bruno. He's got time to turn. Plays it up to Isak. Isak's got options on the right-hand side. Plays it out to Murphy. Murphy dinks it towards the back stick. There's a header. Oh, just gets underneath it and it goes over. I thought there was two coming in on the back stick again. Perfect, if you like, because again, he just peels off Mazraoui, who to me is not a centre back at all. And like I say, it's just it was half an opportunity for me there. Give and go between Isak and Tonali. Tonali lofts it up to the back stick. It's punched out from Bendor and it's come out to Tino. Tino to Barnes. Barnes fires it into the 6-yard box, but again, too close to the keeper on the shape of that ball, and it's easily claimed around the midriff there from the keeper. Just waiting for Man U to get going again. Again, a bit of a tussle in the centre circle, but it's come back to Man U. There's a little bit of an overload now with Mount now down this inside left position. Plays the ball square, but again, it was cut off from Fabian Schär. But it was Fabian Schär's not happy with somebody. Certainly, Mason. I mean, the for some unknown reason, the cameras went on to Thomas Tuchel then. And like I say, you miss half of what's going on in front of you. I don't know why they do that when there's a game going on. Anyway, Mount back to Euro. Doku into Bruno. There, Bruno. Back to Bruno. It's cross now. And you're trying to build up something here. Mazraoui again coming forward. Mazraoui back to Garte. Again, just not really doing or going anywhere. The lads are doing a fabulous job. They've, from the 20-yard zone. Oh, there's a chance here. There's a Harvey Barnes. There's a slip from the Man United player. He's gone straight to the middle. Harvey Barnes! Get in! Pooh! That was, again, this is what I was saying. For some unknown reason, Mazraoui as the centre-half, Lindelof as a centre-half, if you run at them, they will give you opportunities. These guys are awful. And again, great work from Newcastle because it just pushed and pushed and pushed. Mazraoui tried to be clever and play the ball around Harvey Barnes. When he got the ball, he slips. Harvey Barnes then still got a lot of work to do on 30 yards, running in. Players then try and squeeze him. He pushes the ball in between the two of them, really well controlled, fires it into the roof of the net. Get in! But what the hell were you doing there, Mazraoui? If you were the manager, you would be fucking furious. We've had a couple of them this season, haven't we? Where we've had, Bruno doing his magic tricks. But we've always seemed to get away with it. But you can't do it as virtually the last man there. But Lindelof and Euro were nowhere near him on that. But again, great movement from Harvey Barnes because he plays the ball in front of him and just runs rather than like have the ball under his feet. Superb. What a great, and again, well deserved because he's done a lot of graft. 2 goals for Harvey Barnes. Superb, son. Just having a quick look. Well done, Barnes, yet again, says Toon. Barnes is back at his best. And now questioning why we bought Barnes now. Gordon out, and we haven't lost a step. On the left-hand side. Yeah, like I said, he needs a run in the side. I agree. But it's the pressure that other players, if you've got quality on the bench, this has to be a continuation, doesn't it? It can't be just one-off games. Look at J7, out of this world. Mighty Mag. Take Isaac off now, Craven says. Why not? He's not really done a lot, to be fair, in this game. So I'm what idiot asked for as Barnes touched the ball yet? We want 4, says Kelly. Excellent run from Barnes, says Brandt. Harvey, you beauty, says Tiger. Yeah, well done, lads. Anyway, let's crack on with the show. Oh, Trips, you can't get yourself caught in that situation. With Bruno Fernandes now, Man United got a throw in out to Ugarte. Not really seen much of their midfield, to be fair. Eriksen's tried to just little runs in and behind in the half space, but they've left the midfield wide open now because Mount and Eriksen have moved forward, and it's just left Ugarte as the 6. Little ball down the left-hand side to Dorku, who looks like he's offside. Yeah, went a bit too early. Shearer. Seems very confident. Nicky Butt by the side of him. And then Ginola. What? Great 3. Really interesting one with Ginola, though. Apparently he turned up at the pre-match and was complimenting the groundsman for the grass being the way it is in April. He says when he was playing on the first game of the season, the grass wasn't as good as it is now in April. He says when it come to April, it was like playing on lead. So, he was giving the compliments to the groundsman massively. Pope now with a free kick to Newcastle. Again, no playing dangerous, just going long. Playing it towards Isaac. Ball falls down to Bruno. Bruno now looking for options down that right-hand side. He's played a little bit of a inside right-hand ball, but Murphy's never going to get that, to be fair. And again, what I like about Newcastle, as much as we've played like with Murphy as this right back at times, gone to a 5 at the back with a 5-4-1 situation. On the build-up of play when it goes left, we've waited for Murphy to get back into position rather than assuming. And I think that is something that we rushed a little bit in the first half. Seems to have been a little better in the second half. Bruno now with a little bit of a challenge in the midfield. Referee allows it to go on. Fabian Schär, Tonali, into Trippier. Trippier just wanting the players to come onto him from the other United. Not happening. Again, Tonali just plays it out to a little bit of a bouncer for Burns to try and handle. Ball played up towards Harvey Barnes, but again, Harvey Barnes trying to allow the ball to bounce. Not going to get that much opportunity, lad. Ball played up into Bruno Fernandes. It's one touch out of his feet to Højlund. Højlund gets a tap on the ankles, and it's from Fabian Schär again. Quick free kick taken from Eriksen. Ball goes all the way out to Dalot on that right-hand side. He's faced up by Tino. That one does really well, brings the ball out. Tino looks to go out on that left-hand side. Holds play up, just looking for options. Getting a bit squeezed there by your red shirts, but manages to get it to Bruno. Bruno then plays in Trippier. Trippier looks up, plays in Isaac on the halfway line. Isaac now turns Eriksen. He's got a bit of a run on. Facing 4 red shirts, plays it out to Murphy. Murphy, one touch, not great touch, plays it a little bit wide for himself, brings it back to Trips, back into Bruno, who's a bit more inside right position. Tonali, central, again, options, plays it all the way out to Murphy again, but Murphy's stationary and he's offside. Should have looked along the line, lad. Again, Man U play quick, and it nearly got him undone there because Bruno was on top of him straight away. Big Dan Burn now on Mason Mount. Not going to have on the halfway line. Not going to have much joy there, son. Mazraoui all the way back to the keeper. Out to Yoro. Up to Dorku now. Dorku's definitely trying to press on and stop Murphy from venturing too far forward. Bruno now, and like I say, you look at our three, Harvey Barnes, Isaac and Bruno as our three most furthest forward foot players. Tino with a little bit of a juggling act. Harvey Barnes, great first touch round the back of Mazraoui, running hard into the box, looking for the ball to play across, but Mazraoui recovers, gets a black in, and it goes out for a corner to Newcastle again. But what a great touch. He brings Mazraoui in, and it's one touch out the way, and Mazraoui's gone. But again, the only problem with his Barnes, he just hasn't got the pace to get away from him. But he does well. You could see where Isaac was. He'd looked up, and he was just trying to square the ball to Isaac. But Mazraoui, give him credit. He does well to get the challenge in, so it's a corner. Where are we? See what anybody else has put in. Mad Dong, Mighty. Defo got them going at half time. Yeah, Barnes is cooking. How are you offside there, Murphy, says James Cuff. Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? When you stood there looking along the line, should never have been allowed. Barnes is class, says Two Nuts. Ball into the far post. Headed back towards the danger zone from Big Burn. Again, Burn gets the bounce of the ball there. Oh, a little bit of a drop shoulder from Murphy. Murphy keeps the ball going. Plays it into Bruno. Bruno having a right tussle with Dorku. Plays it back out to Burns. Burns up the line to Murphy. Murphy now tries to play the nutmegs through Ugarte. Manu managed to get it out this time, but again, it's a dodgy ball. It's took away from Tonali, back up to Fabian Schär, who stays up. Fabian Schär now into the penalty box, not sure which way to go. He tries to play in Harvey Barnes and falls to the ground. Again, United facing their own goal and not knowing which way to go, but luckily Bruno Fernandes is absolutely screaming at them to give him an option out there. Lindelof had buggered off somewhere. I'm sure he went for a fag because he was nowhere near giving Bruno Fernandes an option out there. He must wonder what the bloody hell he's playing with at times, Bruno Fernandes. And all the lads in the crowd. Great to see the war flags display again. The lads are in great voice. I can only imagine. A little bit of a first time we haven't won a ball, I don't think, there on that long play from Man U. Anyway, Yoro now tries to again play the ball long. Tonali blocks the shot. Luckily for Man U, it comes all the way back to Yoro. I thought Isaac would have been in there. Again, they like to play this little dodgy give and go into the little triangles, Man U. Keeper now clears the ball left-footed to try and... what are you doing there? Oh, I'm going to say. Trippier gets a bang on the shin off Dorku, and he went down, and I'm thinking, what are you doing? But Dorku just stared. You can see with the replay, Dorku just stands all across his ankle. That's going to be bloody sore. Ching ching, everybody. Happy Sundays. Come on. 74th minute. We're 3-1 up. Time to make changes, do you think? Barnes playing for his place with Gordon back. Yeah, you're right, Grove. That's what I said. For me, you can't drop Harvey Barnes. But it's great to have the likes of Gordon on the bench now because you can take Murphy whichever way you want to go. Ball floated into the box, cleared by Man United. Well, half cleared. Again, all the red shirts back, even Highland, so not really an outlet for them. Bruno trying to take on three players, doesn't manage that. Dorku now brings the ball towards the halfway line. But again, a really blind ball out to that right-hand side. Luckily for them, it's picked up by a red shirt, not a black and white one going forward, because that would have been perfect for us. United now bring the ball. I keep saying United. The Reds keep ball over the top from Bruno Fernandes to Højlund. Not really seen much of him. Drills the ball into Manu on the edge of the box. It's a shot, but it's straight at Pope from Ugarte. I was going to say, there's a little floaty ball there down the line again from Bruno Fernandes, who just gets Højlund into an ounce of space. And again, the only thing that they've got is just to try and drill it into the danger zone. And again, it's a case of getting bodies. Murphy now on a inside right run towards the centre circle, plays it out to Tino. Tino up to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes now just waiting for Tino to come past him. Plays it inside to J7, all the way back to Byrne now, who's again 15 yards inside the Man U half. Oh, that's a terrible ball from Fabian Sharp. And luckily for us, Yoro gives us a straight back. So Bruno gives it to Trippier. Trippier gives it back to Bruno. Bruno, Tonali. Back to Tonali now. Byrne, Tonali. And literally Newcastle just keeping the ball. Playing in good squares. Tonali up to Bruno. Tonali now out to Trippier. Trippier sees Murphy got a chance of a cross here. Plays it towards Isak. Oh, if you'd have stayed still, Bruno, you'd have got it. Trippier again. Plays it towards the back stick, but that was just a bit too high for Harvey Barnes to get onto. And it goes all the way through to the keeper that time. I'd definitely pull Isak now. I don't see the point in risking Isak this much, if I'm honest. Biander again. That's a really dodgy ball. It's fell to Bruno. Simple. Get in. I mean, what are you doing, keeper? I'm sorry, but that is fucking rubbish. Come on, Bruno. You do not give the ball centrally there. And I mean, what more can I say? You wanted 4. You've got it. Get in. Isak off. Who on, Wilson or Asula? You've got to give Asula a shout, haven't you? I mean, I know Wilson needs legs, but to be fair, Asula needs the confidence. And against this defence, he should have a field day. We won 5. You're a greedy bugger. Bruno. Come on. I mean, that's shocking, though, isn't it? Looking at the replay. Keeper gets it. I mean, it's a half press from Isak. But the header down from J7 falls directly into Bruno's path. I mean, it's just so simple. And there's not a red shirt anywhere near him. The real Bruno, just like we are the real United. Yes. Josh, I want 10. I want 10. Yeah, it's just class. It's just pure class, mate. It really is. I mean, again, all the changes are coming on now. Gordon, Kraft's coming on for trips by the looks of it. So, Wilson's come on. So Isak's off for Wilson, which is, I suppose, again, you've got to give them opportunities to get some, space into the legs, I suppose. Murphy's off, so yeah, I think Harvey Barnes has gone on the right-hand side now. Yeah, he has. Harvey Barnes is right-hand side. Gordon gone on the left-hand side. Nice to see Gordon back, to be fair. See what he can do on that left-hand side. Brands, I want Harvey Barnes to get a hat-trick. That's what I want. I don't want, come on, Gordon, let's get a goal. Mazraoui's gone off. Yoro's gone over to the right-hand side. I don't know who's come on for them. Shaw has come on for Mazraoui. So they've gone 4 at the back now. I don't know. It's a bit, like I say, bolted the bloody gate when the horses run. I love it. You know what I mean? Can we play you every week? I love it. Guys, do us a favour if you haven't already. Like I say, if you hate the other United, hit the like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget, straight after the show, it's your turn. You've listened to me talk rubbish for the last umpteen times. But, I mean, come on and give you a say. Brant, you're an absolute gem. He's gifted 5 memberships. Just Morg, Geordie, I think that's New Zealand. Welcome, Geordie, New Zealand. 8 Lousy, Alan Tidwell, and Owen. You've all been gifted. Sorry, I'll put that one on. You've all been gifted a membership, NTTV Plus memberships from our lovely Brant. And you could go ahead and watch anything you want now. And like I say, if you can, guys, give us a chance and, like I say, a help forward by continuing your membership further forward. But thanks, Brant. You're a superstar, mate. Andy Bell. Not enjoying this, yeah. Andy Bell's missus is a Man U fan. So you can imagine what it's like in their house. Fabian Shaw, Tonali now. 18 minutes gone. Newcastle 4, the other United 1. And I mean, to be fair, body language, it states a lot for me. And when I'm looking at this, United, the other United, just ain't at the races, mate. Tonali walks past Bruno Fernandes as if he's not there. Ball fired in towards Bruno Guimaraes. He's saying, lads, I want you to talk to me. Mainu's coming on for them. Again, I don't know who's coming off. Maybe Ugarte. No, Bruno Fernandes is coming off. So they've given up on this game by the looks of it already. Giving the armband to Lindelof. Bruno Fernandes, the other Bruno, off. Again, just saving grace. But like I say, they are so poor. What I don't want to see, and I know you guys are, we all want more goals and stuff. You know what I would love to see now is Harvey Barnes having the same game on the right-hand side as he does on the left. Just to give us options, because I just don't see us having options down this right-hand side. Well done, Harvey Barnes. As I say, that throws it into Gordon. Gordon tries to play in Wilson straight away, but unfortunately didn't get there. Man U try and bring the ball down towards Ericsson and towed forward by Tonali, and it goes out for a throw into the other United. Dorku. Ericsson to Dorku again. Again, we've got the black and white wall in front of him, that. Mainu, Dorku and Ericsson just playing against each other, and Newcastle are happy for them to play in front of us. Wilson and Gordon comes out for the press there on Yoro. Yoro gives out to Dalot, and again, all the way back to this dodgy keeper. I don't know who's worse, to be fair, the Turkish lad or the banana, because they all both look a little bit dodgy. Kraft there with a towel, and again, just Man United just trying to get the ball down the lines. Crafty now with Harvey Barnes to support him. Ball played in towards the back stick. Tino heads the ball back across the goal, and Harvey Barnes there just heads it clear, but it's still in Man United, about 25 yards out. Little dink shot towards goal from Mason Mount, straight into the arms of Popey. Popey with a quick throw. I thought Popey was going to go on and run forward then when he comes out of his box. Tino now, just taking his time, plays it all the way back to Harvey Barnes. No rush now. 83rd minute. Kraft. Shaw. And where's Kenny W? Where's 4 of the so-called Big Six now? City, Spurs, Man U and Chelsea. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's strange how things change towards the end of the season. Craven, great team performance second half after that scrappy first. Yeah, it was bitty, mate. Yeah, I agree with you. We've become out and been very professional in this second half and limited the other United to very few chances, haven't we? Nothing really. And again, there's been nothing apart from their goal that we've gifted them. And that was just, again, that poor defensive line. Shaw, Kraft now on this right-hand side, up to Big J7, who's just being held up by Ugarte, who drags him to the floor. I love J7. He's gesticulating with his fingers. Couple of more changes. Lungy's coming on, and Miley in midfield, giving our lads in midfield a rest. Again, good management. Job's done. 85th minute. Bruno's off. Oh, J7's still having a go. I don't know what you're having a go at. Just get on with it, sunshine. Wilson now. Bruno is saying to them, just come on, walk this way. Protect yourself. Yeah, J7 and Bruno. The two Brazilians are off. Mad Dog still trying to calm J7. He'd lost it for the minute, J7. He'd seen red. Miley on and Lungy on. Ball played up to Highland. Plays out to Dallow, I think it is, on that right-hand side. United get so far, the other United, that is, and then it just stops. Terrible reverse ball there from Mainu. Ball over the top for Gordon to have a run at. Gordon versus Yoro. Yoro takes no chances and he kicks the ball out. Kenny W. Longstaff, we're doomed. Come on. Oh. Tino, risk and reward, son. But again, the other United give it straight back to the only United. But Tonali's been class. He's gifted a couple of balls away, to be fair, but he's been class. Sure, Kraft in to Harvey Barnes, who again gets challenged from behind, goes to the ground. Free kick to Newcastle from Shaw. He's been out so long, I forgot his name. Lungy to Kraft, Tonali. Again, it's just training pose now, lads. Don't have to run after anything. Shaw back to Popey. Popey out to Burn up to Tino. Tonali. The other United are hunting in packs, but the ball goes easily to the right-hand side. And there you go. It's easily dealt with from the only United. Crafty now with a bit of a pace going up that line, and he was asking Harvey Barnes to run on, but Harvey Barnes just stalled. He waited for a little run from Lungy. He played him in, but again, Lungy's first touch wasn't great. And Crafty did superbly well there on Agati because it was off Agati for a Newcastle throw. Just waiting for Crafty to throw the ball back in play. Lungy. Oh, come on, lad. Tiger straight away. Longstaff. Smiley emojis. Oh, dear. Dorku to Shaw. Again, they try and play themselves out of trouble. Hasn't always worked in their favour, to be fair. That's got to be a Newcastle throw. Yep, and giving it to them. Oh, it was a Newcastle throw. Mad Dog there, just giving them instructions. Done really well, I think, Mad Dog, because it's difficult to try and have two heads, when you're trying to... I thought Wilson was going to... Oh, keepers... Oh, Jesus. This keeper for them, I'll tell you something now. Everybody criticises what we've got as a reserve. But when you look at these lot, with their two keepers, trust me, I think I'd rather have Gillespie in goal. Newcastle go long. Yoro clears again just to try and put the ball back in the danger zone. Oh, I thought Longstaff had a hamstring issue. Harvey Barnes, oh, well done, son. Harvey Barnes draws the tackle in from Dorku, and it's just easy. And Tonali doing some shithousery in the 89th minute, tying his shoelaces. Job's done, lads. It's just been one of those games, like you say, you want to play every week, and we haven't been at our best at all. But like I say, it's been a much more professional outing in the second half, and that you can only give Mad Dog praise for, because, like I say, it's him who has to do the team talk. Ball up the wing to Tino. Tino gets pulled to the ground by Yoro. Plays allowed to carry on. Ball squirms all the way back to Mainu. Mainu and Hoyland now on the halfway line. Fabian Schär looks like he's breathing heavy at the minute. Dalot on that right hand side. Mainu. Ugarte plays it all the way to the left hand side. Don't know who this is. Shot at goal. Sorry, my screen just froze then, just as they had a shot. So I didn't even see what happened there. Played to the back stick, and Hoyland who throws itself at it. And it come off his shoulder and out wide. So 5 minutes of added time, guys. We're in. So don't forget to join us directly after this when we go over to the post-match. And obviously you can come on and have your say. You guys that are already there in the chats, you'll be redirected directly in. Obviously, I might have a 30-second break. But like I say, just keep an eye on it and you'll see us go straight into it. Again, ball won back in that midfield by Miley. Need to impress me, Miley does, on that left-hand side. He's not the same player. I don't know why, but he's not been the same player every time he plays there. Harvey Barnes, player of the match, goals 2, shots 2, on target 2, dribbles 7, passing accuracy of 89%. I mean, you know that some doing. And like I say, he's been involved even when he's gone down that right-hand side, and that's what you want to see. You want a player, not just to be one positional. And it's nice to see that Harvey Barnes, in actual fact, has done really well. Tino's Paul just out there to Kraft was superb. Harvey Barnes now puts Dorku on his bomb. He turns. Unfortunately, Dorku just manages to get a foot on it. But this Miley gets it back, and Miley gets referee. Gives the other United a free kick there. I'm not sure that was true. But again, the way Tino won that ball back was outstanding. And then Big Dan Byrne with the shift across to that left-hand side. Superb. Lindelof now. Yoro. Again, closed down quickly by Gordon. Gordon's not giving him any time. He's turned him, faced his own goal. Squeeze. Wilson. Oh, keeper again falls over. Justin Wilson pressure. Tino headers the ball at the back of Dalot, whatever his name is. Oh, some of the section of the away end all still clapping and dancing and singing. Well, fair play to you, lads. Because, like I say, you haven't got a lot to. You haven't got a lot to sing about, to be fair, but they're all still in good spirits, so that's good to see. Tino belts the ball forward. Again, it goes too long. I thought their keeper. I'll tell you something now. I would seriously be pushed lots of pressure on him, because he just goes direct and straight. And again, he's giving the ball straight back to us. Tonali. Oh, Tonali tried to apply a little blind ball towards Barn. Manu on the break now. Hoyland. Hoyland's into our penalty box, but again, he's only got one thing in mind, and that wasn't the right decision. Out of sync. See you at full time now. Seconds on clock. Says Scott. Ericsson. Shaw. Ericsson drives it into the box, but it's headed clear by Tino. Gordon and Wilson on the press with Shaw, though. Tug, no risks. Ball goes diagonal. Harvey Barnes and Ericsson. Ericsson plays it back to Dorku. Dorku now. Ugarte again, the white black wall in front of him, and Harvey Barnes does superbly well. Miley plays it to Tonali. Tonali now got a bit of grass to run into. Wilson trying to keep on side. Tonali goes from central to the left hand side again, just running the clock down, being the perfect professional. Just standing up. He's got two red shirts. He plays it back to Miley. Miley out to Anthony Gordon. Gordon now just giving it to Longstaff, and it's again walking pace, keeping the ball. Red shirts, not interested. Not interested in getting the ball back. It's like I say, 95th minute. We're into the last 15 seconds. And it's all the way back to Dan Burn. Again, really good professional job in the second half, guys. Like I say, you've just seen Tonali there. Man of the match for me. I know it's been given to Harvey Barnes. But it's, there you go. It's all over. Well done. Superb. Number one we are. Number one United, not the other United. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me in this live broadcast, this live watch along. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to everybody that's gifted the members as well. Like I say, Branton, Random, I think, was also the other one. Thanks, guys. Superb. I'm sorry if I've missed you. Like I say, we will be going directly on to the post-match. We are now sitting in fourth position on 56 points. Superb results. David Veach, 7 to go. Absolutely. See you in a second. I'm just going to try and close this down. Bruno, just having a quick look at Bruno. He's having lots of fun. See you on that next.